Hello there everybody, welcome back to the Game of Muscle YouTube channel live, where we have a new awesome teacup holder. Everybody drinks tea from a pint glass. I certainly do. It looks a bit milky from this view. I probably did put a bit too much milk in the tea, so totally unqualified for tea making here. Whoops-a-daisy. Sometimes you have to have a milky tea. But anyway, what's under the tea is what's important. And it's the valve. Instantaneously make that mistake. It's the valve index, guys. Oh, it just came in the post. I'm so hyped. I've got too much hype here. I'm super hyped. Hello guys in chat. So I'm like a super valve fanboy, you guys know. You know, I mean, okay, I wasn't too impressed when Steam first came out, you know, when we were playing the original CS and the original DOD 1.4, the best version of Day of Defeat. You know, Dodge Source wasn't very good. You know, I'm playing the original Team Fortresses, you know, not the Quake mod, the Steam one, the Valve one, and then the Steam one. Oh my god. Anyway, we had to buy the Steam controller when that came out. Quite enjoyed that. Good controller. A little bit interesting. A little bit weird. That's Valve. A little bit weird. A little bit interesting. So, Valve Index, Valve's non-HTC, Valve's in-house, in their Valve house, VR headset. So this is a Valve product. This is the closest we're going to get to Half-Life 3, guys. Don't worry, Valve. Nobody wants Half-Life 3. We just want other distractions. We want card games. No, nobody wants card games. I certainly don't. Anyway, so we're going to open this and see what it's like. So, excitement, guys. It's like Christmas. It's Valve Christmas. The boxes all over the place here. It's, my basement's a little bit of a mess. Let's clear some room. Okay, we're good. Well, for those of you that don't know, if you've just come here randomly, erratically, I'm like a VR fanboy as well. I mean, we've got the Oculus Rift S there. We've got the original Oculus Rift there. We've got a Quest in my sitting room. I've got the we've got the yeah, we are delaying the unboxing here. We've got the original Vive. Where is he? It's in a box. He's been on the original Vive's been on a bit of a Vive holiday recently. We'll get him out because it's going to be comparing him. Here he is. So, why is everything so heavy? Stop making heavy things, companies. Oh dear God, everything's heavy. Because a person that knew what they were doing would probably have got this out before they started the stream. Consistently incompetent. That's what you come here for. There it is. Here's the original. The Vive. The Valve HTC Valve H Vive. Look at that VR headset bonanza. Oh God, cables. I need a biscuit already. Open it now, do it! Yeah, it's coming. But before we open it, it's time for a nice ginger biscuit. Got to get the sugar levels up. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to compare. It's going to be really interesting. I'm building this up, you know. Building this up for myself. I'm trying to build up the hype. This is live. This isn't a video. Edit. It's a video. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm just trying to hype it up for me. I'm trying to enjoy the moment. It won't focus on the biscuit. No, it's not. It's a little biscuit, of course. Right. Put these on the floor. So it's gonna be super interesting to see what it's how different it is. Is it truly like a next gen? Because I'll start unboxing it because I'm gonna get comments. People that watch this replay be like, "Oh, why did it take you half an hour to get going?" Yeah. Dislike. We're opening. So the thing with the Rift S is $499. No, $399. It's $399 for the Rift S. LCD screen. Runs really nicely, but it doesn't have IPD adjustment. I find the Rift S quite comfortable. No IPD adjustment though, so if you're outside that range, you're screwed. And I find the 3D not too good on the Rift S. So one thing, same with the Oculus Rift. I quite like the Oculus Rift and the Rift S, I have to say. The Vive does better 3D. The original Vive, the Vive 1.0. I always found it did better 3D. It's more immersive. So my hope is with the Index, I'm hoping for slightly wider field of view than the original Vive. I should just call it the Vive. Well, original Vive's probably handy for people. Better field of view and more comfort. And obviously we've got this is the one that comes with the headset and controllers and everything. So the controllers will be really interested. And Lighthouse 2.0. We've got to rip this label off here. I don't want to. Oh no! It's covering the joint. Headset, controllers, and oh, I'm gonna have to use my. I hope you guys are enjoying the shot of my groin here. Go to a different channel. All right, take care. Hello, BK. Right. Lick it. That is a screwdriver. Or is that a screwdriver? Or are you just happy to see me? Both. Right. Whoa! We have liftoff. Hello, Don. Hey, guys that joined us. Thanks for clicking the like button, even if you hate the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying groin camera. Probably should have positioned the camera there, given that I was going to be standing up. Double groin camera. That's it. I'm now a tot or thought. I don't know how you say it. Right. View. Oh, look at that. I see into the chest. It's not something you want to say to someone. Look at that. Nice trove. You've watched 5 Index unbox. Wait, there's another one. This one's going to be the best one. Because this one's... it's probably not going to be. Oh, the Andy... Look at these knuckles. They're not really called knuckles anymore, are they? They're called, I don't know what they're called now. Index controllers. Look at that. You can hold it. For some reason, Valve have an obsession with this trackpad stuff, which nobody actually uses in anything. But, you know, that's Valve for you. I can kind of understand the trackpad thing in terms of, you know, you can. It's infinitely versatile in a sense. But nothing beats like the D-stick. I would say, immediately, it does feel to me like the D-stick is slightly out of the way. Like, I guess the idea is that you rest your thumb on there and you're doing hand stuff. But I'm going to be playing first-person shooter games and stuff, and I always end up moving around with the D-stick when I'm playing VR games. So it feels to me like that D-stick is in the wrong position, naturally. Though not too far out of the way. It's not uncomfortable. Weirdly for me, it's more comfortable on the left hand than the right hand. As I say, I'm the type of person that's going to be using that using the D a lot. And it feels like the A and B buttons are in the wrong place. Because it's like all compromised around the slidey pad thing. So, you know, I give it a negative point for that. I'm going to be positive and negative. But yeah, the actual comfort of them in the hand though, that's really cool how they just slide into your hand. And then you can use them feel quite hefty to them. I don't know where. The charge got lithium batteries in them, I guess. Nothing beats the D stick. Hey, Gohinda McHindu. So yeah, I would say the position of the buttons there is not ideal. Just immediately intuitive speaking, basic comfort level there. When you get used to all these things, then it starts feeling more natural. But it's definitely off compared to like Xbox 360 controller, or you know those types of controllers. Yeah, I don't like that. I've already been a miserable bugger. Start with a negative, but the actual controllers are nice and feel nice in the hand. I'm sure they'll track nice. They look nice. They look great. They feel nice in terms of the actual hand ergonomics for the trigger. That seems really nice. There's a click at the bottom, like a detent, pretty much like the original Vive controllers. But yeah, that's a shame, because I'm going to be on the. As I say, I'm going to be doing this constantly. We're going to be on the D-pad playing all those games moving around. Let's take the stuff out of the box here. The guards are for punching the wall with. It's a much more effective way at denting your wall. I have to say, I think the controllers will be awesome for actual use in games and stuff, but I'm more excited about just a general headset. Here's the new lighthouses. My other lighthouses are in a different room, attached to the ceiling. So these are the lighthouses 2.0. I guess they're actually not 2.0. They're kind of oh no, they are 2.0. I thought we were on like another revision. I've seen the other version of these, which is slightly the sort of in between revision. There was like a 1.5. Just hopefully these just work. That's all I care about. Lighthouse tracking. Fact of the matter is, guys, it's better than inside out tracking by a mile, and it's even better than the. Well, I've got a camera there, but the original Oculus tracking is not as good as Lighthouse tracking. Whichever way you look at it, Lighthouse is the best VR tracking method. Not just in terms of size. I mean, personally, I don't have a massive room. I live in the UK. Our houses are tiny. But in terms of immediacy and fidelity of the tracking quality from the actual depth tracking, Lighthouse works the best. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. I haven't used all the headsets for a long period of time. Lighthouse works the best. It's worth noting the way the tracking works on the headset and these controllers. You have the Lighthouse tracking for like actual depth movement. A lot of the tracking comes from rotation from IMUs on the inside of the devices, like a chip that measures the inertial measurement unit, like gyroscopes and what have you. So for stuff like this, the Rift and the Vive are exactly the same essentially, because they're using the same sort of IMUs. But it's stuff like this where you get a difference. The pet peeve, I need to do a separate video on this, but a pet peeve of mine is people using Beat Saber as a demo for tracking. It's like, that's a crap demo for tracking. Like, Beat Saber's mostly, there's a little bit of left and right, but it's mostly you're rotating your wrists, which you don't need a tracking camera for that. Like, you could put the controller behind your back with the Oculus and it would still track that quite well. Anyway, woo, Lighthouse. It's quite a big box for like a actual small amount of stuff here. Hello world. We're velcroed down. Hello, Harrison Atkinson. Hello, guys. Yeah, I'm glad I pre-ordered this. As I say, for me, the biggest thing is comfort. I mean, I find the Rift S quite comfortable, but the stereo, there's something about it that doesn't feel quite right with the actual visual end result. The Vive, I found quite comfortable on the eyes, but the actual headset comfort's not too great. The original Vive. The Vive Pro, which I have used, the strap upgrade's nice for more comfort, but it's still not perfect because it's to do with like sweet spot and everything. The sort of the full end result. We get a little cloth here to cloth ourselves with, and then we've got a deck of cards. What is this about? Setup guide. What? Every country gets a different colour. Setup guide. Guide de configuration. Guide installazione. Yeah, we're going to go for everyone, guys. Achtung, Tag. Guide installazione. I think that was meant to be Spanish. Spain get yellow. English gets blue. Oh, Sudoro, Kudoro, set up a guide. And that's it. That's all the languages. So it's nice that they've put them in there. Sorry, guys. I tried my best. I wouldn't be surprised if Japanese setup guide was literally setup guide. That'd be the anime version. Right. Sounds about right. It's not offensive. Well, British accent's as bad as any of those other accents. Oh, so it's quite heavy, guys. Got a little bit of heft to it here. It's quite massy. It looks really solid, though. Looks super duper solid. Oh, the headphones are cool as well. Well, I say headphones. It's kind of the idea of these headphones is that they rest on your head, just away from your ear. I just remembered I had an absolutely hilarious VR dream the other day where I was dreaming about unboxing this and the headset was like this wide with giant headphones on it. That's what I dream about, guys. Oh man, that was hilarious. I had a proper anxiety dream about this headset being really big and I just remembered it. But I won't talk about dreams because it's really annoying when someone tells you about the dream they had. You're like, I don't care because I didn't have that dream. And then they're going, oh, this happened in my dream. And you're like, literally, I don't care. I do not know. I was not. It's like someone describing a film that you haven't seen. Why do people do that? What's under here? Accessories. So we've got some additional cable stuff in here. We've got the charge cables for the Knuckles controllers. But I mean, to be honest, why it should come with a holder for the Knuckles controllers. What is this? What is this for? Right, I'm gonna have to look through the English setup guide here. I don't know what this is, but it's nice and soft. It's like a VR breast implant. So stress. This is for when you. This is for when you're playing VR games and you get stressed. Probably not meant to do that with that. Is it for like the head? I don't know what that's for. It's for the frunk. No, I don't know. Camera angle isn't great. What is? Oh no, that's groin cam. You should enjoy that. That's a bonus. Right, most of the instructions here seem to be about installing a lighthouse, which is exactly the same as the. I mean, it's the same. They've slightly changed the design of the lighthouses. Turn controllers on. You know, that's all pretty standard. Trying to find out what oh, here we go. It is rear cradle adapter. What's that? How does that work? Head adjustment knob. Rear cradle adapter. I don't know what that's about. Go on the back of it somehow. Oh, maybe it fits in the gap at the back. Throw them away and plug it in. Yeah, should plug let's take these out. More USB cables, fantastic. One thing I always wanted was more USB cables. I'm always thinking to myself, I wish I had more USB cables. The wall adapters for the we've got the screws under them as well. Just gonna be placing these on the shelf initially. Filament for pinheads. It's a charging cable. Oh, we get the charging cable has all the different locaciones. Oh man, this is gonna be so hard to put back in the box if you want to repackage it up. Bloody. We'll be using the UK plug here. Do we really need like all these little cardboard boxes for this? Come on. Come on, Valve. There we go. We're now UK'd. UK plugs, we have like protection so that kids can't electrocute themselves. That's what this additional one's for. That opens up the two ports, so when kids are poking forks into plugs, into wall sockets, they don't die. What is this? It's got like a different sort of Don't know how that works. It's like a proprietary power kit. Oh, that's nice. The hand controllers are USB-C. So what's this proprietary? Is that for the lighthouses? I guess it must be. The lighthouses have a proprietary cable. Yeah, they do. That's a shame. So if you break this cable, or you want to extend the power cable for the lighthouse, then you're a bit out of luck. Although saying that, I know you can charge the lighthouses. You can power them with a USB brick, and I think it's just as long as you match the voltage up. What is it? Does it actually say on them? 12 volts, 833 milliamps. But that's annoying that out of the box it comes with a proprietary connector. I wonder why they've done that. You know, it's not annoying now, but you know, in like 4 years' time, 10 years' time, when you're like, oh, I'd like to try out my Index. I remember when they came out. You're like, oh, Jesus, I've lost the cable, and you're screwed. No rush. We're building it up, guys. Come back in a week. Anyone new to this channel, you're not familiar with how long it took us to build the sim rig. Thanks, Soda Can. Isn't that just heart failure, though? These are not on offer at Lidl. They should be. Imagine being able to pop into a Lidl and pick up a Valve Index. I'm going to keep doing that. UK plug is by far the best. Yeah, take that. Take that, Europeans and Americans, with your filthy two-prong plug. You noob plugs. UK might be in the midst of destroying itself. We might have the most idiotic government in the history of mankind. We might be pretty useless at most things, but we've got good plugs. Have it. We win where it counts. Fun fact. There was a rumour about Valve potentially doing some kind of wireless option. I'm going to sneeze. Oh dear, I've caught indexitis. God damn it, Valve have put the plague in the box. That's how they get us. They entice us with the VR. It's actually a chemical weapon. Sneaky Valve. Right, I'm only going to plug one lighthouse in initially, just to test this out down here. Let's just plug that in there. So, I mean, the other interesting thing with this is that, obviously, for the full kit, it's like it's £912, I think it was, which is a lot of money for sure. But the headset alone is £450, and also I'm really hoping that Valve every like year or so, like if they advance the headsets, like do new headsets. Because once you've got the Lighthouse units, you're good. Stuff like the Pimax uses the Lighthouse. You know, this is the one thing with Valve. I wouldn't say Valve are, you know, they're not like open source or anything, but Valve are like, because they make their money off the Steam store and sort of the general gaming ecosystem, everything they do is to build that ecosystem, whereas other companies, Oculus, for example, Facebook, I'm not having a go at them, but they're obviously they're dependent on their store and their ecosystem, but they're not like it's just specific to them. It doesn't like grow. It's not the wider PC gaming market. Think of it this way: Valve are the PC master race. you know what I'm saying, guys. Valve are like Gabe's an ex-Microsoft boy, you know. The original Valve crew team, they're all Windows boys. They're part of that PC culture, you know. Which, if you're like me, I'm a proper 90s LAN party, build your you know. If you're part of that culture, then you kind of get Valve and what they do and the motivations. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they're like they're still an evil corporation, of course. It's still a business. But you know what I mean, guys. Everyone in the US has two 2080 Ti's. That's what they use for central heating. So I've got that out. I've got that out. I've got that out. Now then. Right. Let's not do Jimmy Savile impersonations. We're good. It's rather boxy and big, this whole container. Put that away. I think it's slightly smaller than the Vive, the original Vive. It still could have been a bit smaller. The Vive box is bloody a joke. They did improve it later on. Oh. Right. Well, the expense of VR is like the whole combination of everything, isn't it? We've earned a sip of the tea. Jimmy Savile's dead. He was a paedophile. But if you grew up in the UK, you'd have seen him on TV. Jim will fix it for you, and you, and you, and paedophile. That's how the theme tune went. I'm surprised people didn't catch him earlier with that theme tune. It was a bit obvious. Oh, do you want this mouse mat? Total bargain. Use my Amazon affiliate link. It's on Amazon for it's £12. £12 mouse mat. I love it. I think his mouse mat was built by Russia. Because when you put your keyboard on it, it covers it covers Africa and Brazil, and you're left with the UK just above it, and then you're like ramparting over Australia. Australians are like, no, we've been killed by the mouse. So yeah, also I really like his mouse mat. You can buy them in different sizes. It's the cheapest big mouse mat you can get. I'm such a bargainer. So yeah, use my Amazon affiliate link to get this mouse mat if you want to be proud of Russia. the one country that's really obvious on this. Or Greenland at the top here. Greenland. The land that's ironically not green. It's more icy than Iceland. That's how we name places. Yes, let's call the snowy place green and the green place ice. Great job. Hello guys, thanks for subscribing. Streamlabs is loud. Oh yeah, let me turn that down. Sorry guys for making you all deaf. Ah, nice one, Mike. Mine arrived just a bit back. I was surprised. Right. First test. I've not even turned it on, but I want to stick it on my head and see what it's like. Oh, we've got nice little Velcro cable ties on here. That's nice. That's nice. We have to take these headphones off. I should have used a different headset. Plug in. I think it's DisplayPort, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yes. It's just DisplayPort and... Oh, we've got a power cable. I'm going to have to open the box again. We've got another power cable. There was a breakout box I wasn't paying attention to. So we've got a power cable, USB, and the DisplayPort. So that's the one downside with the Hey, Fred G. One downside with these headsets, I mean, this is one of the nice things with the Oculus S, is that it powers itself from USB. Which, you know, I quite like the minimal aspect of the Oculus Rift S. I don't think it's a perfect headset, but it does do some things quite nicely. Cost, single package, you know. Oh, I want to put it on my head. Yeah, behave yourself, Miles. Jesus Christ, guys. It's all these dirty VR people. Thank you for subscribing. I'm just going to grab my other microphone. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not going to grab my other microphone. I'm going to take this one off here. What's the best way of doing this? What is the best way to do this? Good microphone here. It's attached to my headphones. Mod Mic 5, guys. Everything on this channel is like a shilling. Jesus Christ. Thanks for subscribing. Let me turn these down. I'm going to make you all deaf. Right, I want to see what the headset feels like on the head. It does look quite narrow. Jesus, it's hot in here as well. Absolute microphone failure. Oh, hello. Here I am with my microphone. This is not. I need like to lapel. Hang on. Oh, I enjoy the sounds of my chest. Does that still work? No, that is a terrible idea. Oh man, I'm so incompetent. This is why I'm good at testing stuff. You want a complete idiot to look at stuff, and then they're going to find everything that idiot. I'm going to get my other mic. We'll be back in a second. It's almost as if everything in this room is like. VR headsets all over the floor. Right, here we go. I mean, I should have just used this to start with, but that would have been the correct thing to do. Don't want to do that. Cable. Jesus, it's hot, guys. Any of you in the UK? Oh, come on, it's got caught my sim rig. Yeah. Bloody hell, it's a sauna. Oh my god, it is actually pretty damn warm here. Testing. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's working. I was literally just talking then without the microphone plugged in. Apparently they don't work. Everything should be wireless by now. I'm sorry. Why isn't everything wireless yet? We've got VR. We should have hover cars and everything should be wireless. I mean, what was growing up in the 90s, following on from the 80s? That's how years work. Surely we should have wireless everything, you know? Ridiculous. Absolute joke. Fed up with cables. I was set up, John Cuffman. We just swapped mics over. I wasn't thinking as usual. So it looks quite narrow. It looks quite small, to be honest. I thought the actual front part of the headset was going to be wider. Oh, that's cool. So when you twiddle this, the they call him Mr. Longhead. If you're an alien from the Alien films, don't worry. Valve have you covered. Charge the controllers. Good idea. Let's take the controller chargers out of the box. Man, what would I do without channel members that pay attention? I don't know if there's a breakout box. Did they get rid of that? Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice to know that Valve don't just discriminate against aliens. They could have done. Right. Oh, here we go. Here's the headset cable. Thank you. Oh man, it is. We don't have air conditioning in the UK. This is the worst weekend to receive a VR headset. It's like southern France temperatures. It's a joke. It's hot as balls. I know. It's way too warm for. I mean, it's nice, but not for an office temperature. Oh, hang on. Closed him up before I put the UK part on. Oh, where's the UK part? Oh no, I'm holding it in my hand. Brain's not operating, guys. We're outside of thermal operation. My brain's throttling. No AC. Don't be ridiculous. Come on. You'd only use it for a week. It's normally raining. We just have umbrellas in the UK. No air conditioning here, so warm summer days are a pain in the arse when playing VR. Right. I'm gonna plug the controllers in. I'll have to get another cable out. Hang on a minute. This has the. Oh, this is the other lighthouse one. But the controllers, they don't come with a. I don't think the controllers come with individual. No. You don't. I don't think you get actual chargers for the controllers. Naughty valve. Yeah, I don't. Unless I'm missing something, I don't think you actually get USB thingamybobs for the controllers. Might not be the end of the world. I mean, you can just plug it into anything, but you know. Oh, it's pretty humid here today. It's like 62 degrees humidity. So I'm just going to plug these into. Well, USB-C is good because everything's USB-C now. I'm going to plug one. I've got a power brick. I've got a. Got one of these Bluetooth speakers and a USB hub, so that will charge them up hopefully. It's like 25 degrees centigrade in here and then 62% humidity. It's like 62 degrees centigrade, I'd be dead. Come on, I can't cope with that. Dry heat should be alright because your sweat will evaporate off you. If it's humid, the sweat just stays stuck to you. Now, annoyingly, for my USB thing, I have to connect to it with my phone, otherwise it doesn't charge. Connect. Yeah, apparently tomorrow it's going to be even hotter. Okay, that's charging. Where's the other one? And that one's charging. Oh, this one thinks it's already fully charged, and this one does not know. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Let's put these down here out of the way. My God, the cables in here are a joke. I'm gonna have to get full-on cable tidy going on. Oh dear. I'm one of those people that does not like things to be messy for a work environment. I don't mind it otherwise. Yeah, all right, Spartan Racing. Yeah, get your tea. There we go. Nothing like a nice warm cup of tea in the hot weather. Let's not put tea on the headset. Cheers, everyone. It looks like warm milk. It's just the camera, I assure you. I got delivered by Parcel Force, but unfortunately, sadly, it wasn't my favourite postwoman. It was a hairy bloke. What was the name? Deanna. Deanna, the Parcel Force girl. So that ruined it. That ruined the experience, to be honest, of the Vive. I was really hoping for Deanna. The Deanna dream. Where can we put this so that we can test it? Initial eye. Right, let's keep the lens plastic in the box. That'll be handy in the future. No, she's not Ukrainian. She's from Bulgaria. She's just friendly, all right. She's just friendly. She's just like she's like the female version of Postman Pat, but actually competent. Postman Pat it's unreal. If Postman Pat was a real postman, he would have been sued for ineptitude. Every episode of Postman Pat, guys, he's messed something up that's really not hard to mess up. And so basically, Postman Pat is just teaching children to be incompetent at their jobs. We've got to peel this off, I think. Right, that was nice. Bloody Postman Pat, guys. You have a large package, thank you. No. No. Don't go there. Right. That's just a screwdriver in my pocket. Here we go. So, just got to plug that in. Oh yes, more power cables. Life is but a power cable. I don't know what this one's for, but I'm going to unplug it. Oh, don't need to. Lighthouse is spinning up there. I've just put it on the corner of a shelf. Hopefully that works all right up there. Oh dear. It's so hot. The original Rift. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Just a headset comparison here. There you go. There you go. There's the actual size of it. Oh, this is really getting a mess. I did not think about that. So there you go. It gives you an idea of the different sizes of the headset. So that's the original Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift S. Feels so tacky. I quite like the Rift S. It's quite nice. Like, it's a headset to actually use. I find it quite comfortable, but the build quality is bloody. Well, it works. It's not broken, so you know, it just feels tacky. So really, it's actually not that far off the form factor of the Rift S. Like the front protrudes slightly more. The frunky part. Why is this? Oh, it's clipped. That's to make sure it doesn't come off. The plastic bit on the front comes off, so you can put things in it. I think it's magnetised attached, so it's just. It's the new shade look. Start with gone. Je suis l'ordinateur. Je viens de tuer votre famille. Oh, l'ordinateur, il arrive. Those of you that don't watch the channel don't know about the ordinateur. That's French for computer, by the way, guys. But I think it sounds like some kind of crazy robot. Well, that's going to scratch up super easy. So, yeah. Weight-wise, very similar to the Vive, the original Vive. The original Rift is the lightest of these headsets. Nice. Well, that's. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know what that was, but I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Okay, we're getting there. One thing at a time. Right, this is like, we are pretty slow here. Bear with us. I'm not going to look at the valve index. I am as well. Don't know what I'm doing here. I feel like I'm just sandbagging. Wait, there's the power cable for the headset. I'm going to try, let's try it on without the screens on here, see what it feels like. The first mounting of the crown. The cable's quite thick coming off it. I would say that's one of the things that the original Rift the original Rift cable is quite thin. The Vive cable is like 3 separate ones. It's just got one like individual cable. From what I understand, this cable is a expensive proprietary cable as well, so that's awkward to get hold of.
Rainbows.
Jesus Christ! Thank you. Why was that so loud? Thanks for that donation. Why is it so big? Why is it so big? Thanks for that donation. Who was that? Oh, Rainbows. Did he type penis? Denied. Only celeb. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Oh, it smells nice. Okay, it definitely feels quite heavy on the head, you know. Oh, you can, so it's got the tilt as well that you have with... Yeah, so it's definitely quite heavy at a basic level. I mean, you can bring it closer, but as you move your head around, you definitely feel that weight moving around. So, it's, you know, so one of the big things that I'm sort of looking for, I mean, it's blocked out all the light here. That's good. Like, I'm totally in the headset and I can feel the lenses right on my eye socket, so that's nice. It'll be interesting when we actually turn it on. It feels comfortable at a basic level initially putting it on, but it's still the weight. There's still weight there, quite a lot of weight. This is one of the things with VR for me personally. My biggest thing is comfort, really. Like the Rift S visual clarity is what I would consider very usable visual clarity across the board for basic comfort. But I still think there's a way to go with, like, you want something half as heavy as something like this. But that's just where we are with the technology, so we'll actually get this plugged in here. Oh dear, sorry guys. Yeah, it wasn't very well yesterday. Hopefully I don't contaminate my Valve headset with disease. Go away, disease, be gone. That's the YouTube curse. When you've got lots of stuff to get done, that's when you get unwell. Bloody typical. Hello, Gesundheit. GPU, you probably want at least a 1070 minimum. It depends what you're playing, you know. If you're playing like Beat Saber or like made for VR games that aren't like really high-end VR games, you can get away with lower GPU. It entirely depends on the type of game you want to play. If you want to play flight simulators, you're going to need like a supercomputer, you know, like even in 2D. So even on the Rift S, with I'm using a 1080 Ti. Even on the Rift S, the frame rate is like, it drops down to like 30, 40 FPS with graphics turned down. So we're kind of for driving sims and stuff, it's going to depend on the driving sim. Like AC, if you don't put the shaders on and everything, you're probably going to be all right with a 1070 with something like this. It just depends on, and also what resolution you run the headset at is going to depend on it as well. So one of the nice things with this is another misconception with VR that I see all the time. People think, oh, the headset, like a Pimax or this headset or the HP Reverb. Oh, it's glowing because I just plugged it in. I was like, why is there lights on it? It's alive! HP Reverb, Pimax, and all them, like, just because the headset's got a really high resolution screen doesn't necessarily mean that you need to run the games at that resolution or super sampling. So, yeah, ideally, you do want to be running it at the resolution, but you still, by having a higher resolution screen, benefit from better or less noticeable screen door and general better image. So a really good example of that is the Oculus Quest, where it's got the same resolution as the HTC Vive Pro, but most of the games are running not even close to that resolution. But you still benefit from the actual general clarity of it, even when it's not running at the res. Right, I've got a I should have an extension cable there, so we can plug this in. We don't get. I think it would have been nice to have a breakout box with this, you know. The breakout box has been turned into a breakout nugget. This is all the 3 cables at the end have been turned into this. I can't wait to hear index reviews. Well, it's coming. We just take our time here. Those of you tuning in that wanted something quick and snappy, you've come to the wrong channel. I'm not quick and snap. Well, I am in videos. But I thought I'd just live stream this. I was just really excited. I was like, right, live stream. Also, I didn't live stream yesterday because I was too busy dying. So I thought, well, we've got a live stream. Although, the nice thing of dying yesterday was I did get to watch that Netflix series 1 of what was it called? Like Vikings, but set in the UK with Vikings. Guys, help me out here. What's it called? It's on Netflix, set in the UK. It's got a character that looks exactly like Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Total Chinese knockoff Game of Thrones. Oh, what was it called? It was really good. Well, the first season was Last Kingdom. Yeah. It was actually right. It's not. I don't know whether there's 2 more seasons to watch. It's not as good as the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones at all, but it's way better than seasons 5, 6, 7, and 8 of 7. The last 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. Derp. Oh, hang on. I hope you guys don't go deaf here. I've totally... Look at this, guys. I've already tangled up all the cables. Spaghetti junction. Jesus Christ. There's got... Surely they could have done a better job, like some other solution with cables.
Please compare gauge readability. Which Trycen?
Oh my god. This is gonna tangle repeatedly. I'm gonna have to get some. I'm gonna use some neoprene on this. You can get neoprene cable tidies. Are absolutely awesome, and that's going to be required on this because this is just going to repeatedly tangle. Because this power cable is so much thinner than the others. Oh, it's not one cable. That's the thing. On the other end, it's a power cable, HDMI, and USB. But the power cable just wants to tangle. I will check the readability. Thanks for that donation, Dirt456, activating the fish. Really appreciate that, man. We will check the. We'll go through a whole test of everything: driving sims, flight sims, AI mods. Thank you. Oh man. So the way that this has like a breakout cable, so you've got this here. Then goes into this. I mean, I guess this is more elegant than a breakout box, but it's still. I mean, that cable's a little bit. It kind of looks like a HDMI cable, but thinner. So yeah, I mean, whatever you do with this, because this goes into that with the power cable, and then these two cables go into your system. This is always going to like tangle up. Cables, guys. I mean, there's not. I don't know what they really could have done else. Breakout box would have been nice, because this is if you're using the length of this and you're moving around the room, then this is moving, which is then going to cause these to tangle up. So let's put the neoprene on it now. Neoprene away. I totally recommend this stuff. If you're if you want cable tidies, I've got a video on the channel about this. They sell these on Amazon. It's like, I don't know, it's like £10 for like 4 meters of this stuff. It's just neoprene strips with Velcro on it. It's literally, I can tell you know, those of you who know the channel have got a sim rig and you already know this, but I'm saying this to people that are new that might not. This stuff is like amazing for just raw convenience of like being able to adjust it afterwards. You can just poke the cables out of it. I just got to work out how much length I need here. How much length do we need? Oh, it's Andrew Levy. Have I got PPI? AndrewLevy.com. How's it going, man? Have you sold any loans today? Andrew Levy working at the Gherkin. Working the Gherkin. Andrew Levy's always working the Gherkin. You know what? I can use this without cutting it. Just have it run off at the bottom. Wow, how can he be so slow? This won't tangle now. Genius. I mean, it's a bit overkill, but do you know what? All I need is like a tiny length of this, and that'll hold those together without them getting tangled. But I'm going to put all this in here, as I've got no other use for this so far. So overkill.com does mean it won't tangle up with other cables under my desk. So it's like a umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. How do you say that word? ACC. Oh no. Well, you know, I just. What's the longevity appeal of a game like ACC unless it has proper ranked multiplayer? Like, why? Why would you like? Why would people invest time into it? It's way too niche. It's like Formula One. If Formula One wasn't an inherently popular thing through the years of good Formula One, all from like the 70s and the sort of the IP, then nobody knows what Blancpain is apart from people that are into Blancpain. Like, even I would argue, like, MotoGP is even like way more known than GT3 specific. You know, that game does not make much sense to me, but it is what it is. Right, Automobilista 2, guys, absolutely hyped for that. I'm going all in on that. I'm waging all my credibility on that. I think Automobilista 2 is going to be the dream. Right, let's unplug this. Find out which monitor it's plugged into. We're about to find out. Okay, it was that one. Oh no! Get this back on here. There it is, got the chat room back here. Total Automobilista hype train. So we're going to see if the extension... I've got a HDMI extension cable because I have... Well, what? Like 2, 3, 4... I have like 6 screens and VR headsets and everything all plugged in. I've got an HDMI extension cable here, so I'll be interested to see if this works. Oh no! That's HDMI extension cable. We need DisplayPort extension cable. Mistakes were made there, guys. Forget that. Forget what I was saying. Where's my HDMI extension? Oh, it's the riff's plugged into it. That is why. Wrong one. Can we have a rewind? Oh. We're back. Are we there? Have I broken everything here? Wrong. Check the cable. Hang on, guys. Scene, selection, Vive. Oh, now look what's happened. Look what's happened. Look what you've done. Look what's... We've turned into a green screen. Hang on, hang on. There we go. I know what I'm doing. Competence achieved. Right. Oh, Christ. So many cables. All around me are loose cables. Oh, Christ. Guys, this is... Oh, you can kind of see on the floor here. It's literally just a mountain of cables. The headset is... The hand controllers are charging, so, you know, we're not... It's, you know, it's not like we'll be able to just jump in and play right now. Where's the high vis? It's too warm for high vis. Get heat exhaustion. Most people probably don't have the issue of having 60 cables all dangling all over the place. This is very much my own made issue here. Big issue, please. Let's unplug the Rift S. Ah, there it is. There's the trusty HDMI cable. Yeah, most people don't, you're right. But I'm living on the limit. The cable limit. Living on the limit. Oh man. One thing I hope changes before I die. I really like to see a world without cables. I don't, you know, forget hunger and poverty. That would be nice, but a world without cables. I think if the world had no cables, I think everything else would come with it. Like, people would be so happy. It would be instant world peace because they'd be no longer struggling with cables. Everything could just go up to satellites. That's how it should be. I'm alright with the radiation. Probably nice. You can use it for heating in the winter. My God, I feel like throwing up. It's so hot. I should have bought that AC unit. I was like, no, we're not spending money on something like that. My God. How many dislikes are we on? I'm not even bitter. Oh, that's all right. I feel like my channel has got to a point now where we're like successful enough that I get a good number of dislikes every video, whatever we do. So I'm quite proud of that. Do you know what I mean? when you're starting out, you don't get dislikes because people, you know, no one's, you haven't got any haters yet. So you know, it's like when we get the bots coming in. It's a sign that we've actually, the channel got to a point where it's worth spamming. So I you know, I appreciate it. Oh, both controllers are now charged, so that time wasting was highly productive. See, I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm gonna pass out. It's so warm in here. Oh, hello, Brandis Games. Thanks for subscribing. Oh my god. Bold Brit found dead with VR headsets tangled around him. I'll just put this fan on. Needless to say, I don't think we'll be streaming tomorrow. If it's going to be like twice as hot. I'm just going to blow the fan over the wall. Oh my god! Yeah, because my basement is, I've got halogen lights and the heat can't. It's insulated down here. Oh, that's nice, little breeze. I'm not feeling 100% well either, so. It's like the multi-combo, but we've got a Valve Index, so it's all good, who cares? VR. Jesus Christ, right, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Not quite yet, we're getting there. I wouldn't recommend using DisplayPort extension. Although it's been alright with mine, I just use like a 1 meter DisplayPort extension cable. That works. I don't know if it works with the Index though. With the Rift S it seems alright. I've got a suspicion it won't work with this, but I'm gonna give it a bashy bollard nonetheless. I know I am enjoying it. That's the thing, isn't it? You only get to do these things once, so I know it's painful for you guys watching, I'm sorry, but you would do, well, you probably wouldn't do the same, you'd probably be 10 times faster, but what's this? Not paracetamol. Weirdly, as a kid, I'd have paracetamol, it didn't work, and then now, not for pain or anything, but for like headaches, I find paracetamol works really well. But it never used to. So what changed? Both controllers are charged. Let's turn these on. Yabisetto, of course, exactly. Man, it would be good to have an AC down here. But they don't, the portable ones aren't very good. Didn't it? Turn this on. Didn't it? Oh, the thing is, I wonder if it's got different haptic motors in it. High energy. Woo! Right. Some say they found him dead of heat stroke. Right, that's plugged in. I don't know if that'll work with that extension. It might not. Oh my goodness. Oh, my head's getting extra shine. Right. Let's put this over here. Video output low. What's that about? What's the stream quality on? It says it might be buffering for you guys. I'm going to turn the bitrate down a bit. What's the quality like? $1080. It's just YouTube. Yeah, well, I've turned it down to 6 megabits instead of 7. YouTube's just been a bit of a spizzle. Oh man. Oh, there we go. It's Streamhouse back up. Right. Okay. Steam. Steam. I might get some orange juice with some ice cubes in it. Oh, it's so pathetic. Pathetic Brit dies. As I say, we don't have air cons here, and I can't be justified buying an inefficient small one. It's too noisy, that was why I didn't get it. It's too noisy, I can't live stream with it on. There's nowhere I can put it in my basement where it wouldn't just be like the only thing you hear on the stream. I guess I could hide it in the cupboard maybe. I'd have to check the width and everything, but then I'd need like a grill in the cupboard. Oh, you know, just can't be arsed with it. Right, how does this work? Where's the instructions? Back in the box. Back in box. This is yeah, the world domination. Oh no, we're not doing French. We're in English here. Should use Japanese instructions. Why not? Guys, I've lost the British instructions. Oh dear, we've got a problem here. I've honestly lost the British instructions. Where did I put them? Where's the instructions gone in English? I've got them in every other language. Ah. Oh well. We'll just turn it on. The one thing I read was to use the. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. Come to think of it, I do speak French. Well, no, I can't find the French instructions either. Oh, here we go. Okay. That's all good. That's all good. That's all good. We've already done all that. Oh no, we're all good. Yeah, the one thing I read was to make sure that you turn the Steam controllers on before, so there's nothing there. Okay, we're all good. Obviously, pretty familiar with the headset. My portable AC unit's as loud as an F-18 Hornet. Well, you know, why not? Is it? Do you get letters from the what's it called? The Federal Air people. Broken windows every time it goes into overdrive. That's all right there. Thank you. These are, I don't know. I think they might be Primark socks. Using a VR headset. Yeah, okay. Should just do it installing now. Install-a-bitter! You can see Colin behind me. It looks like he's wrapped up in plastic. Hang on. We can do this with Colin. Colin brings us good luck. So far it's not worked, has it? Any of you wondered how big the headset is compared to a mirror carp comparison? I mean, this is a fairly average mirror carp. So, unfortunately, if you are a fish and you try and use a VR headset, you will find that the IPD adjustment, I mean, you can't really get it onto your head either. So, Valve really do not care about the fish kind. VR fish. He's having a seizure. Come on, we're installing. No IPD. I mean, well, that's the problem with fish, isn't it? Their eyes are like, what is his IPD? It's not even. Fish don't even see in stereo. This is how you know if it's a prey animal. Its eyes are like either side, so it's got better field of view. But if it's a predator animal, like a human, as I poke my eyes out, their eyes are forward, so you've got better stereo vision and stereo crossover, so you can better attack. So, you know, that's why I like reindeer and alpacas and stuff. Their eyes are like on the side. Flies, they just have millions of eyes. Fish are the Pimax of the animal world. It's so immersive, I don't even need VR. A whole new world. I can show you the FOV. Yeah, right, enough of that. Fever Dream. We're just downloading the VR headset software at the moment. Let's have another biscuit. Oh no, I've eaten them all. Oh no, I've got one left. Final biscuit. Oh, I know. It's downloading. I probably should have downloaded this beforehand. I'm on a 20. No, I'm on like 10 megabit. Well, no, 70. 7. It's pretty like 6 megabyte downloads, but you know. I'll have you know, my 28-bit, my 28 baud modem. Bing, bing. Look, we started off playing Counter-Strike. No, it was on a 56k modem, 56k plus, and you know, that was an upgrade from the 28-bit separate modem. It is Jardier, and you know what? You can buy your own for just £12, but in Jardier currency, €15. Wow! You could have your own by using my Amazon affiliate link and typing in mouse map. Comes in 3 different sizes. My tea's cooled down, which is actually quite pleasant. Grand Prix Legends at 56k. Hang on, hang on. Okay, we're ready to launch Steam VR. What were you saying about Grand Prix Legends? Oh, Steam's got stuck. What did you say? 56. Oh, you played multiplayer with Grand Prix Legends. I used to play Tactical Ops Beta, the Unreal mod, which is basically Counter-Strike but for Unreal. It was really good fun. I had amazing maps. And the original DOD, and the original Half-Life Deathmatch, and Quake, and on Wireplay, Midtown Madness. Shill. Yes, that's why we've got that icon. Thank you, Gary. Right, this should all work now. Launch Steam VR. Launch Bitter. Nothing on the headset yet. Oh! It's playing the music through the headset. It's Illuminator Ward. Right. Guess you guys can't hear the music now. I'm going to go without sound. Unless I should be able to mirror the sound. Hang on. Settings. Oh, I'm excited to put it on my head. Exactly. But you've got to remember to buy that mouse mat using my Amazon affiliate link, of course. They do it. Make sure you get the right size. It comes in 3 different sizes, so you might be thinking you're getting a cheaper one, but actually you're getting the smaller one. Audio. Set playback device. Mirror audio. There we go. Can you guys hear the... guys can't hear sound. My God, these speakers are vibrating the whole headset. That's crazy. There's not that much sound leak, but the headset's vibrating from the volume as if it was like playing music really loud. Weird. Right. I know how these are like special headphones. It's vibrating the whole desk. Trying to get it so that you guys can hear the audio. I might have to restart Steam VR for this to work. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna update it all as well first before putting it on. Ah, there we go. So that works. That works nicely. Right, update headset. Yes. So you can now hear the music, and it's coming through these headsets as well. Yeah, that's it. They're like a weird headphone speakers, like close to ear speakers. I mean, well, to be fair, all headphones are speakers, but yeah, they're supposedly like special magic vibration array. You know, I'm actually quite excited about that. I mean, to be honest, this is the thing. So when it comes to like end consumer value of like a device, so one of the things with the Rift S is the sound is absolute shite on it. It's crap. It's just awful. And so it's like, oh well, you know, the headset's only £400, but if you want good sound, you're then gonna have to buy some like subpar additional accessory that's gonna cost you at least another £30 to £50, and you have to take the time to buy it and everything. You know what I mean? And attach it. It's like I would rather pay £40, £50 extra initially, and just have something that's like a lot better, that the company making it is, you know, because they're doing it in volume and everything, and it's all attached. You know, do you know what I mean? Success. Update more devices. Update controllers. These still aren't. Yeah. Update. Identify controller. Oh Christ! I have to plug it into it. Identified controller. We can plug you in. Don't worry, I don't mind. Not like I've got to unplug other stuff and move things around. Jesus. Hello, you got no milk. Thanks for clicking the like button and subscribing, everyone that has today. I hope you enjoyed this slow as you go stream. That's just how we are. It's the French pace, not Spanish pace. We're not that slow. And definitely not Portuguese pace, but I'd say French pace is kind of where I'm at. Is the controller detected? We've plugged it in. It's not. Plug it into this. Maybe if I turn it on and off again. Waiting for devices. What's going on here? Oh, thank you, Cat Debate. Appreciate that. Right. Where's the update alert gone? Oh, you right click on it. Update device. There we go. Chris Hart, we're good, thanks. Is that your fishy sex? Oh, here we go. It's updating. Found it that time. It's very much not a toy of arousal. No, it's just a happy fish. just because his look, yeah, I'll admit, his lips do look rather suspicious, you know. But don't judge him. Don't judge Colin. He it's like a rhino's mouth. Colin is his own, you know, he's in his own little. You'll upset him. He's sensitive. Oh, okay, that controller's updated. And do you guys get update anxiety when you're installing firmware and stuff? Because I still do. I would have thought by now devices are kind of protected to the point where you can't break them, but oh, there we go. Dedoot. We know where you hang it in the shower. Colin has bills to pay. Colin does all the work here. Right, success. Done. Everything's updated, guys. We're now ready for the world of virtual reality. Something along those lines. Although I'm in a basement, so I can't really stand up too much here, so one thing at a time. Firmware update anxiety, very recognisable. Yeah, I don't know if that's just... Is it... Why SteamVR taking a while to load here? Is it because I'm anxious, or is it something that everyone has? I don't get... Oh, computer's crashed. Computer's crashed. Great! Steam has crashed my PC. I can't see the chat room, but my separate PC should be working, so the stream should still be going. Good job. Well, there you go. First, maybe the firmware update anxiety was legit. Let me just double check that the stream's actually going out here whilst we reboot this. YouTube. See what phones are for, guys. Loading. Thank you, Steam. 100% stable then. That's that's nice to know. Thank you, Steam. Ah, there we go. It's still working. Right. So that's the advantage of using a separate PC for streaming. Reboot. Hello, guys. I can see you on my phone here. I didn't even notice it had crashed. I was just like, oh, nothing's happening. I always the update BIOS is the worst. No, both my computers are black. Yellow computer would mean that the room would have burnt down by now. If I just prop my phone up here, sorted. Hang on, hang on. You can see my password, you buggers. Don't look it. I nearly typed my password then. I mean, I do use different passwords. Whoa! There you go. Oh! Camera dropped. I do use different passwords. That would have been funny if the camera dropped in a way where you could still see the keyboard. I'm one of those people that has like 30 different passwords that are all 20 digits long. Did you enjoy the ride? T's the password. Damn it, you're on to me. Hang on a minute. Just loading in. Hopefully it don't crash again, otherwise I have to go through this whole process. I mirror my other PC to so I can view it, like using Chrome remote. It's pretty good. I love Racing 12. No, you guessed it. I love sim racing and girls that like to ride too. What? Let's get some house music on. disco, dubstep, electro, house. There we go. There we go, music back. Now let's load up Steam. Hard house. Let's get the handle out of the way here. Growing cam. Turned into a cam. VR's turned me into a cam girl. I wasn't even trying. Right. That'll do. Oh dear. One thing at a time, guys. Let's see if Steam crashes again. That'd be good. It crashed my old PC, which is weird. Hello, Kirk House. Right, VR. Is this going to crash my computer again? The old mouse, wiggle your mouse to see if your computer's crashed technique. Oh no! Oh, it didn't save my mirror settings, but man, this is crazy how the whole table's vibrating from these headphones. There we go. Right. Oh, first time, guys. Here we go. First time putting the headset on. There's noise on it, so maybe that display port. Getting like there's like little white dots. I think it might be my DisplayPort cable, so I might have to not use that. Oh no! Anticlimactic start. Right. Oh Christ! I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn Steam off to do this. Second attempt. Well, I'm using a DisplayPort extension cable. So, but that I'm not gonna be able to reach. I've got to unplug the USB and then feed the whole thing under my desk. Fair enough. Operation Find Spare USB 3 port. I quite like having the cables out the front of my case, you see, because it's convenient. Huge error. Back under the table we go. Yeah, so I use like little like 30 centimeter, well, meter long DisplayPort and HDMI cables to feed through to the front of my case, so that I can plug all my monitors in the front, because I've got a whole sim rig and like loads of other stuff. Just makes it easier to when I'm changing stuff. Oh, it's gonna pain in the pickle. Find the DisplayPort cable now. It's annoying because when I'm testing side by side with the Rift, I'm going to have to keep going to the back of my PC. And this is a very short DisplayPort cable. I'm hoping it is just a DisplayPort cable causing that noise. I assume it is. Make sure I'm unplugging the right one here. You guys with lots of cables know what this is like. Of course, it's the furthest one. It's the most awkward one to unplug, of course. It wouldn't be anything else, would it? hope I haven't just unplugged my USB 3 hub. No, I think we're okay. Plug and play. Plug and play. Load it up again. I've actually got a PCI USB 3 adapter card. I've just not got around to put it into my system yet. Right, that's all on C. Am I going to have to set the audio again? No, it's remembered it, so that's good. Your headset's cable has become disconnected. At the headset? Ah! Oh. Please ensure the connection behind the face gasket is firmly... I think it is. No, maybe that was just when I unplugged it. Oh, let's start up again. People keep saying to turn the Steam controllers on before you turn it on for the first time, so I'm going to do that. This is... Straight away we're off. Only took 2 seconds to go. Right. Plugs, unplugs, and then plugs and plays. Please, okay, there we go. Right. Is it still got noise on it? No, there we go. So, that was... That was definitely a case of the DisplayPort cable. Well, at least it doesn't cut it out completely. You just get noise through the HDMI, which means still unusable. But let's do standing only. Place the headset in a location visible. Okay. Calibrate center. Okay. Don't know if it can see the floor from here. Oh, enter more height. Oh, guys, someone tell me what 6'2" is in centimeters. What's 6'2" in centimeters, guys? Why do we use feet for height in the UK when everything else is metric? What is wrong with this country? $188, that's right. Thank you. I keep getting this tether disconnected at headset notification, but it is attached, so reboot my PC. What is that for that? Oh, there you go. That's cool. We're in VR, but we're floating because I set the height up wrong. Should have put the headset on the floor. Whoop. Get the IPD right here. Oh, that's better. Well. I would say two things are apparent straight away. One is that the image is definitely a little bit washed out. The actual brightness, the sort of contrast of the image is a touch washed out compared to like the original Vive. pretty much the same as the Rift S. The screen door's not really noticeable at all, which is awesome. The actual, I mean, you can tell there's a screen door there, but it's not even really perceivable. The sweet spot is pretty similar to the original Vive, but once you've got the head, once it's in place, the eye box is a lot better. So once you've got the headset into the into position on your eyes, you can then look around without it being a problem, and the headset actually holds it stable. So I think that's, you know, that's fine. But yeah, the sweet spot is definitely, it's not that dissimilar to the Vive, to be honest. It's more that the eye box is a lot bigger. People get that term wrong. Put it back in the box. I'm gonna restart my PC and then I'll mirror it so you can see what I can see, and then what I'll talk about through first impressions. You know, as I said, the last headset I used was the Rift S. It's hard to say. I'm just looking in the lobby here. I mean, the biggest thing that I think is disappointing, I'm gonna be negative here. It does seem like the image is a little bit washed out. Don't know if we'll notice it when actually playing games, to be honest. But just in this lobby area, you know, that's the LCD compromise. I don't know what frame rates are on that or anything though. To be honest, when you're playing games, this probably isn't an issue, but the clarity of the image is really nice though. The actual, because you can, in the lobby area, you can see all the text and everything really clearly. I'm going to reboot though. The field of the width field of view isn't that different from the Vive, to be honest. It's basically the same as the Vive using the So with the Vive, if you use the default facial foam, which only noobs do, then the field of view is like really bad. But anyone that's used the Vive for a long time, you put like the VR cover on it, which is really thin. So the vertical field of view, the horizontal field of view, it might be marginally better than the Vive, but basically the same as the Vive. But you've just got much better clarity. The vertical field of view is like basically to your entire vision, but the horizontal field of view is basically the same as the Vive. So let me just reboot my PC here. Which is, I think that's a little bit of a downside, because I was under the impression from all the marketing that the index, the whole thing was like canted, you know, wider field of view. I mean, maybe in contrast to other headsets with similar res, that's the case, but you know. Yeah, hopefully we're getting a Pi Max, because that'll be a really interesting comparison. I mean, personally, I would compromise field of view for certain aspects of clarity and general performance and things. Like, field of view isn't the be-all and end-all, but I have to say, I was under the impression from the marketing that this headset would have a wider field of view. But all it appears to me is that, yeah, technically it has a wider field of view. Technically has a wider field of view than the Vive without the foam on. But like, the default foam on the Vive was shit. Everyone replaced that, so that was never, you know what I mean? Naughty Valve! Come on, Valve, it's not got that. Maybe the vertical, you know, I'm not putting it on, I'm not like, it's not like, oh, field of view is massive. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's good. It's better than the Rift S. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. You have to remember, guys, I'm super... here we go. Can you guys see what my password is? Oh. I've got you seeing my passwords. Damn you guys. I typed it in wrong. I don't know about you guys. I can only type when I've got both hands on the keyboard. Otherwise it totally throws me off. There we go. Oh, nice. Everything loaded up. Yeah, bear in mind, guys, I'm being critical here. I'm not saying the headset's bad. I'm just. This is just how I am. This is just how I am with stuff. I'm one of those miserable buggery type people. From this angle, you look even older. Oh, thank you. That's all right. I've come to terms with being an old bugger. Right, that's that. And I think the biggest thing for me, to be honest, with VR, as I said before, it's not that there's basic quality level that this obviously passes. It's the comfort. The comfort is still like the biggest, even with the Rift S. So that's what the biggest thing with this. Everything else is a bonus. Like, just basic comfort is the most important thing. I haven't called it rubbish. Rubbish. Hello, Paul Keeble. Switch to a higher frame rate. Your headset's cables become. It keeps saying my headset cables become disconnected, and it hasn't. So I don't know what that's about. Hang on, what's going on here? I've just lost my chat window. Well, no, you don't need to scar through yourself. It needs to be comfortable. If you spend hours on a headset, it depends how long you're wearing it and how warm you are, you know. Like, the Oculus Quest is an absolute failure for comfort if you like to use for a long, like, if you're boxing with the Oculus Quest for like an hour. I really like the Oculus Quest, and I play Beat Saber every other day on it. I probably put like an hour a day on the Oculus Quest at the moment, just playing Beat Saber and box VR for fitness, basically. But the comfort of it is horrendous. Oh, hello, Marcel. I hope you're good, man. Reconnect. Oh, it's a bug. Okay. Turn it off. Reconnect the cable. I wonder how it senses it. Imagine if you use like. It's nice how the interchange is just magnetised. And this is like in time. How does this even come out? Well, that's not even coming out easy. I mean, that's in solid, so forget taking that out. Oh well. Music too loud, yeah, sorry. It's on max volume. We're having a rave. Bro, don't tase me, bro. Yeah, well, I'll just ignore that warning. Why would they even have a warning for that? I guess it's so that people that don't realise it, they get told. Right. Ah, touch controls back up again. And it's Epidemic Sound. I pay a license fee. Hello. Do you know what is really nice with this? Once you've got it adjusted to the right setting, you can just pop it on without having to keep tightening it. That's really good. So that's one of the problems with the Oculus Rift S. With the Rift S, once you've adjusted it and you've got it on your head, you can't just take it off and put it back on again quickly. So that's really good. Also, the facial interface feels really nice. I think the comfort is making me come around a bit here. It's on the closest setting to my eye. You can see the edges of the screen, which you could do that on the Vive, on the original Vive. It never really bothered me. I'm just trying to get the. Hang on a minute, guys. Just trying to get the. Oh, do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to change over my stream scene So it'll be back in a second. The stream's just going to stop, guys. Just give me 2 seconds to fix this. Hello, we're back. We're back, hopefully. Okay. Is that all good? Why is this not displaying? We lost the image. You can see the pedal camera. That's handy. Do you know what I'm going to do? Oh, wrong thing. Display mirror. There you go. I've just got the one lighthouse up there. That seems to be working quite surprisingly well. Right. What are we testing now? what are we testing? Okay. Oh yes. No, I was going to talk about the actual image quality. Oh, yeah, I've got to move the camera first. One thing at a time, guys. One thing at a time. Oh no, the mess of the room is being exposed now. Ignore the mess. Bloody hell. It is a total tipping. I need to say, I don't know about you guys, but I hate working in mess. Okay. Earthquake! There we go. Yeah, no, but I hate it. I can't work in mess. It has to be like spotless, otherwise I start having a mental breakdown. Right, there we go. Got the Henry Hoover down there. I don't know, Valve Index, or Henry Hoover, which is best? I think Henry Hoover's pretty good. I don't know yet. I mean, the audio is awesome. The audio is amazing. There's actually quite a big gap. Don't know how much you can see there. There's quite a big gap on the headset. But you get... It's like I'm listening to... it's like having speakers without it vibrating your body. That is actually awesome. I'm just got the dance music playing that you guys can hear. So the audio's... The tracking, actually... Oh, what's this?
Sending this to remind YU to update the firmware for everyone that got the index today. It smooths the finger tracking a lot.
I've updated the firmware already, but thanks for that. Who was that? Match Term. Thank you for that donation. Really appreciate it. That's super generous. €5 doodles. Thanks for the euro coin. Really appreciate that. I mean, the sound is incredible. I've now just said that 5 times in a row. Oh, that's cool. I don't know what you guys can see. Can you guys see that clearly? Give me... I can't see the chat room in the headset. We'll have to sort that out. So it's really easy to grab onto the hand controllers. Oh, that's fantastic. Tighten this up. Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, That's surprisingly good. I mean, personally, I don't care too much about... How do you loosen this? Oh, you push the button. We don't need it clamped on the hands. I'm not a massive... I'm not crazy about hand tracking in VR, you know, personally. It's not one-to-one finger tracking. It's like... It's like there, so when you move your fingers... Hang on. If I look at this, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Is that one there? It's probably better. And then I'll look at my hand. So... It's not one-to-one finger tracking. But it's you've got fingers there that respond to them as you bend them down and get them closer, but it isn't one-to-one. So it's like, well, I guess it's good enough. But personally, I don't really care about finger tracking in VR. I'd rather I'm holding on to a controller. I'm perfectly happy just having a controller in the game because you've got buttons are better to push. Buttons are better to push than hands, like fake hands that you can't feel anything from. Why would you not want to just use a controller? Do you know what I mean? I've never understood this obsession with like the hands in VR with the nothing to actually touch. You need haptics, otherwise it's pointless, in my opinion. Get this. Where's the actual? It's at the back. I'm thinking Vive. Right, I need to get the height right. Do have to work out how much strength how strong to have the hand controllers attached. Hello, random call sign. So it's my face is getting a little bit warm in this headset still, and that's, you know, it's quite hot in here, but it's not a very airy headset. The field of view is exactly the same as the Vive, you know. I have to say, like the width field of view it seems to me to be pretty much exactly the same as the original Vive. I don't know why they marketed the field of view as being better, because maybe the vertical field of view, but I've moved the eyepieces into my I've adjusted the eyepieces so I can see the edges of the screen. They're right in. They're literally on the as low as it goes. As I say, with the Vive, if you're using the default foam, the field of view shit. If you use the 6mm VR cover foam, which literally everybody that uses the Vive will have bought, or they'll have done something equivalent, then the field of view is basically the same horizontally. Literally I can see the edges of the screen, so it's comfortable. I'm just saying the vertical field of view is essentially pretty much the entirety of the vision. Well, not really, but I mean, the vertical field of view is like, so, you know, it's the vertical field, but that was never a problem with the Vive anyway. The horizontal field of view is like this, and I can see the edges of the screen. I don't know how clear that is for the webcam, but that gives you an idea of the. Does that give you an idea? Is that the worst way of showing it off? That's the horizontal field of view that I'm getting. So, like that. Does that help? I'll check the chat room in a second. Which isn't bad. It's not bad, but, you know, it's still not like... You don't want to see the edges of the screen. No, if you see the edges of the screen, you're reducing your field of view. So if I'm pushing this in, then it's rounding it off. So that's reduced the field of view. I mean, you can... The maximum field of view you can ever get is what if you can see the edges of the screen. So when you put it fully in, you can start to see the edges. When you're looking straight ahead, you can see the edge of the screen. I don't mind this. This isn't a problem for me personally. When you're looking straight ahead, you can see the edge of the screen. If I look left and right, you can't see the edge of the screen. It's to do with how your eyes move in the headset. But the point I'm making is, if you're using a 6mm, if you're using the 6mm VR cover on the original Vive, the field of view, if you've put the lenses right up to your eyes, the field of view is, it might be slightly bigger on this, but it's essentially the same. It's bigger than it's quite a bit bigger than the Rift S and the original Oculus Rift though. So I'm just, I'm just being honest. I am that. The image quality is great. It looks fantastic. It's fine. It's not a bad thing. The one thing I would say though is, if like me, you were reading all the marketing stuff from Valve with like the index canted lenses and the talk of the field of view, you would have got the impression that the field of view is wider than the Vive. I think everyone would have got that impression, and it's not really. So I'm just, don't buy this to get a wider field of view than the Vive. Having said that, obviously you can't see the screen door on it particularly. I mean, there's the quality to the image that you get from an LCD panel, which you're aware of. But it's not like, oh, I can see the screen door, and it's, But then also on the other side of it, the image is a little bit washed out. Like, you can tell, very much like the Rift S, it does not have the contrast that the Vive has, or the NEO LED panel. But that might be a compromise. It's well worth having. The tracking is, it's absolutely superb. I'm only running this at 90 hertz at the moment, so the actual sort of immediacy of the response to the image is great, and that's at 90 hertz. So it'll be interesting to try that at higher. And the detail from the high resolution is seems, from my memory, seems about relatively similar to the Vive Pro, but I think it's slightly better than the Vive Pro, image quality wise. But the headset's a lot more comfortable than the Vive and the Vive Pro. A little bit, it's warming up a little bit, but. So then, in terms of the sweet spot, I'm trying to get all these things out as clear as possible for people that want to know details. So this is another thing that people bloody get wrong in reviews repeatedly. There's sweet spot and there's iBox. So sweet spot is when you're putting the headset on in the first place, the position of the headset, how much you can move the headset around and have a clear image, like it's in focus. That's the sweet spot for the headset. The sweet spot on this is only slightly bigger than the original Vive. It's not that much of a bigger sweet spot. What is a lot better than the original Vive is the iBox. So once you've got the headset in position and it's in focus, you're good, you've set your IPD and everything to the right value. Once it's in position, you can look around the whole space, and it stays in in focus apart from at the very edges. I would say the Oculus Rift S has both a bigger sweet spot and a bigger iBox. Just compared to the lenses, I would argue on the Rift S for sweet spot and iBox are better. However, on the Rift S you can't adjust IPD, so if you're outside the IPD on the Rift S, well, you're screwed. So you can set the IPD on this. I'm getting the impression, because one of the things with the original Vive is you would have to repeatedly, you'd have to get it adjusted, and then you'd be like, oh right, I've got the sweet spot right, and then you'd be like, you're playing Pavlov and you move around and you're like, oh, I've got to quickly adjust it. I would say this is probably going to be less of an issue with this, because you can, once it's locked in, it doesn't seem to move around at all on your face. And the sweet spot seems a little bit bigger than the Vive, but not much. But I can see, if you're playing really active games, if you don't have it on super tight, I'd imagine you will still have to adjust it, I think you still will be like, oh, it's gone a bit out of focus, I'm going to have to get it right in there. Because even if I'm moving it a tiny bit like this, up and down like a couple of mil, you're noticing it get a bit like distorted and stuff. So, the sweet spot isn't actually that big on this, but the eye box is a lot better. Weight wise, it seems about the same as the original Rift. It seems pretty similar to the original Vive. Seems about the same as like the Vive Pro, but the strapping stuff just seems really comfortable. It does seem really comfortable on the head, you know. A little bit warm at the moment. What's the temperature in here? It's like 25 degrees centigrade in here. I've got no aircon. It's a little bit warm, but yeah. So how do we summarise that? Image clarity. Basically the same field of view as the Vive. Way better resolution than the Vive. Pretty much the same res it appears as the Vive Pro. Contrast not as good as the Vive or the Vive Pro. The sweet spot the same, slightly better than the Vive. Not as good as the Rift S. Eye box the same, if not. It's basically the same as the Rift S. Once it's in place, you can move your eyes around. It's in focus. Maybe a touch worse than the Rift S, assuming you're using the Rift S and you're in that IPD range. But the actual smoothness of the image stuff and everything is really good. The basic tracking of the headset seems really good. Comfort seems really good. The headphones are bloody cracking. The headphones are amazing. I mean, you don't buy a VR headset expecting the headphones to be the best part. What else is there? IPD, it all seems really solid, really well built. Bear in mind, if you've got the Lighthouse tracking units, you can buy this headset for like £450, £500, I think it is. Oh, God rays. So you don't have. Does it seem to be God rays? You don't have the lenticular circles that you get on the Vive. So that lens quality is a lot better than the Vive and the Vive Pro. But you do notice if I go under this in the darker space here. Oh, the hand controllers are bloody awesome, I think. I think the button placement could be better on them. You do notice at time what I'd describe more as like, it's not really God rays. It's more like a little bit of sort of, almost like a fogging. Where if there's something really bright at the edge, there's kind of like a diffuse fogging kind of effect to it. Not dissimilar to if you're wearing sunglasses or something in real life. So, right, at the certain angles here. So, okay, so this thing on the screen, this purple aperture hand lab thing, that's causing like a sort of purple diffuse fogging across most of the image, which isn't, I guess you could describe it as ghosting. It's kind of like if you're wearing glasses in real life that are not like the highest quality of glasses, and they're picking up like a, I don't like if you were looking through a pane of glass that had a slight bit of like a fog to it, and then and then the stuff was coming through that. I mean, that's basically what you're doing here. I'm trying to think of a better way of describing it. I wouldn't say it's a problem. Just from in this room here, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think that's going to be a like immersion breaking particularly. We'll have to see. We need to get into something. I wouldn't say VR's rubbish. VR's bloody amazing. It's not. VR is, it's still early days for VR. It's not. I would describe this as a very, I mean, VR's incredible. Some people just don't get it. So, I'm being critical for people that are into VR and already are familiar with it and are going to be sort of nitpicking because that's what you're interested in, those little details. If you were to put this headset on someone that's never used VR, they would shit themselves. They'd be like, this is incredible. So, just like to be clear with the context that I'm approaching this from, let's launch this hand labs thing. I am only using one tracking Lighthouse unit at the moment, so can I start this? Okay, it's downloading. You can see through the nose hole. No, this actually, the headset does a really good job of blocking all light. I mean, personally, that's not something I'm too fussed with. It never really bothered me with VR headsets being able to see through the nose hole. I know if you're like going for absolute immersion, you're getting totally lost. in the game, fair enough. But it's no. When I'm thinking of if I'm playing a game that's engaging, I don't notice a bit of light through the nose hole. I'm thinking of the game. But this does block. This is very good at blocking off everything. There's nothing you can. Oh, it's got the little. It does have the same like HTC Vive plastic doodaddle. The comfort is actually really good on this at a basic level. So I'll add to the list of people that think the comfort's great on this. Scapegoat, I am slow. We're just downloading the Hand Labs demo. So bear with us, monkey with us. Yeah, that's true too. I agree with that. That is one of my worries I have with this headset. Initially, is that it does seem like it might be a bit clammy on your face. Unless you live in unless you've got like aircon or something. Do you know what I mean? I do have a big nose. It's accommodated. Maybe if you've got a smaller nose, there's more light bleed. But I have a big fat nose. We've just talked about that, Todd. If you rewind like 5 minutes, I mean, it does. I think anyone that buys this will be very happy with it. I think for me personally, I was hoping for a wider field of view because that's the impression I got from the marketing. It's not like the be all and end all of the headset, but it's one of the things that I was looking forward to. So I need to turn this music off. Really interesting to see. Hopefully, Pimax is sending us a Pimax to try out. It'll be really interesting to compare that. To be honest, it doesn't faze you. Yeah, because you're Australian. You basically have crocodiles biting your ankles as you walk to work. For you, you're like, oh, that's pleasant. In the UK, we get like a little bite. Oh my god. Thanks, Chris, for Lee's. Thanks for them penny bobs. In the UK, you get, you scratch you get a paper cut and you have to go to the hospital. That's what we're like over here. Okay, it's meant to be a room scale game. I've just sat down at the moment. I'm only using one lighthouse, so keep that in mind. Can that fish go? Oh no, what's it doing? Oh, it's doing its own mirror. We were loading something. Great.
Welcome, robot test subject, to the Aperture Science for the you will not be told the purpose of your test today. We will not be told why you are performing them.
I should probably turn the headset. This is running at 90 hertz at the moment, I think. Yeah, we'll probably do some sim racing in a bit.
Your have been replaced with. Please raise your
In Australia, you get impaled on a tree branch and call it a splinter. The street lights in Australia actually have rocket launchers on them to stop the cars. Oh my god.
exit the elevator through the open elevator doors.
Yeah, I mean, well, the
Only available opening that you could possibly.
the clarity is really nice.
Conveniently placed directly in there. You are now ready to begin the hand-assisted non-verbal machine-human communication.
I don't know, can you... this is the problem with nose hole. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Yeah? Okay,
Please
great.
approach the platform. Good. Applying first exercise.
Yeah, see, that lack of initial sweet spot does mean that you have to kind of adjust it to get it right, which is a bit of a pain in the arse.
I am Prey, a friendly human. I like you, so I am waving to you. To consummate this wave exchange, raise your hand, open it, then swing it.
But once you've got that sweet spot, you're actually pretty good. Can you guys hear the sound? Yeah, I think you can. Okay. Right. I'll check the chat in a second.
Good. Applying next exercise.
Yeah, I'll check the chat room in a second, guys. Just doing this quickly.
Hello, it is me again, friendly friend, who you murdered after I only wanted to be your friend. I clawed my way out of that pit of despair with a singular purpose, to come face to face with you once more and finally exact more friendship. Now, give me 5.
My desk's in the way.
Good. Now, up high. Good. Now for the third in our 4 series high five panel. Down low.
Ah, could be on the. Ah.
I have deceived you. Did you really think Friendly Frank survived that fall? He's dead. You killed him. No, I am December Day. Or is it Kevin? If not, or is it? I propose a game of deceit. It is a game as old as hands. A gripping trial of handily cunning called rock, paper, scissors. Are you ready to be deceived? No? Cool. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Paper. I didn't think you'd stoop for that blow. You win. Let's go again. There's 2 out of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Scissors. I meant paper. Yes, I meant paper. I win. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 2 scissors. Equally matched.
That's weird. Sometimes it's not
Ready?
picking it up.
1, 2, 3. I won.
See, I don't. The hand tracking stuff doesn't seem to be totally perfect, to be honest. I mean, well, obviously the controller tracking is spot on, but like the actual specifics are slightly off.
sales Ted Baker said, Bill, you gotta fly down there and you gotta see these hands. And I said, Ted, you're lying in the front. But then I thought, if Ted was willing to get fired over these hands, maybe I better check them out for myself. So here I am. Let's see him, hotshot. Hold him up. Those are impressive. Gotta shake that hand. Put her there. New vice president in charge of hands. That's right. You heard me correctly. Yep. Grip it and shake it. Yep.
What?
Yep. Business hand. That right there, that was great. If I ask you to gently caress my hand, how about this time you give me a real handshake? A nice, firm, strong handshake. Really squeeze it. I can take it. I'm not going to spare your feelings here.
Well, there you go. I guess that's a good introduction to the general mechanics of the controllers. I'm going to stop this here. So, oh, how do you go back?
All I ever wanted was your friendship. But instead you threw me away.
Stop!
Bottomless pit.
Right. Read the chat room. Firm handshake. Yeah. Oh, hang on. The mirror is like really low quality. That's weird. It's a lot more high quality in the headset. I wonder why. I mean, maybe that's just like an option. It's like that mirror is super low quality, but in the headset it's really. I know it's because I've gone to the Steam view. Disrespect's supposed to be back today. Nice. Yeah. So I mean, the hand tracking, with this game at least, the fingers aren't like spot on to like what you're doing in real life. It's like it detects it once you get closer. Once you get closer to the thing, then it works. But it's not like one-to-one with your real hands. Again, personally, I'm not too. I don't get the hand tracking thing in VR unless you had like haptic gloves and it was literally perfect and you could feel stuff that you're picking up, which will probably happen eventually. I just have a controller with buttons on it and just do stuff with a controller with buttons. There's an immersive element to like being able to grip stuff, and the rumble is nice. And I think there's probably just like some stuff that needs to be ironed out on the software side. I've heard some games are better than others when it comes to finger tracking, so that's probably just been worked on still. But at the end of the day, when you're playing most games, when you're playing a game, you're using a tool in the game because it's more fun. Like in real life, when you're driving a truck, you're using a joystick or a wheel. When you're using a gun, you're pulling a trigger and you're holding on to like a physical object there, which has buttons and stuff on it. When you're, anything that you're doing in real life that's a fun activity is normally you're holding some kind of a controller. In which case, an actual controller that you're holding onto is way more, analogous to doing something than having like simulated hands in VR. I appreciate there's aspects to having floating hands in terms of versatility, and there's specific VR applications where it really does make sense. It's really good, and it's a good thing to have. I'm just saying it's not for me. I don't think it's like for most games I play. It's not really a thing. I'm complaining. I don't think I'm complaining. I'm just explaining. I'm not complaining. I'm explaining. The sensor's not in the face of the controller. The sensor is using. I don't know what it's using. I think it's like the I don't know what the right terms would be. It's inside of the controllers. There's I think it's like some kind of capacitive thing that's measuring the electromagnetic interference of your actual fingers from an array of sensors. So it's all based in the hand controller. It's not using the head tracking or the base station. It's that game's GM splaining. True, the rude hand signal thing. And there are aspects. As I say, there's social elements to it that I think are really good. Then I don't think they're that big, to be honest. And when they're in the hand, they don't feel that big. Right, we need to load up a sim or something. Base station. They do feel really. The actual general comfort of the controllers in your hand is really nice. Like they just sit in your hand, so that's really nicely done. You can adjust this. I don't know how you do this without breaking it. Does it just click? Am I going to break it here? No, we'll just leave that because it's the right size for me. But once it's in your hand, it's really nice as a controller. I think in general, I definitely think that the D stick could do with being a bit more centre, and it feels like the D stick and the buttons are too far to the sides, and instead we've got the middle thing here. That what are we going to be using that for in games? It's like I'd rather just use the D-pad and buttons. Valve are like so out there. So they've got the haptics in it as well. You've got like the haptics coming from like the speaker sort of touchpad detector, like on the Steam controllers. And the haptics are reasonable, but again, personally, I would much rather they'd gone for like a more traditional, like like the Xbox controller haptics, where it's really like the Xbox One controller, where it's quite strong and rumbly. So this is one of the things with the Oculus Rift S, the Oculus Rift and the Oculus Rift S controllers. The rumble on it is really weak. I think it's just using one of those little tiny motor things. It's not like an Xbox controller motor. Back when there were some Oculus Rift beta controllers that I had a chance to use, and they had like the original Xbox rumble motor in them, and they got rid of that, I guess probably because it weighed more and it probably used up more battery. But that felt so much better when you're shooting a gun in a game or doing an action. It feels so much nicer having like really strong rumble and stuff. It adds to the immersion loads. So I think that's a shame not having that. Anyway, next thing to go to. It's really nice how you can just lift this up and put it back on your head. That's really, really nicely done. Other headsets, like say the Rift S, you can't just take it on and off your head like that as easily without having to readjust it. It seems like once you've got this done to your head size, and you notice you can just rest it on your head as well. The sound volume's not low. Yeah, this is just a Gahoo McIndo. Calm down, man. I know you like the angry person of this channel. Calm down, man. Calm down, dude. Is that the headset mic? No, I'm using the newer microphone because it's plugged into a separate computer. Your feedback is conflicting. You have to adjust the sweet spot you just said. Yeah, you can take it on and off again and get it into there, but the sweet spot's still relatively small. That's not conflicting. Yeah, why would you buy... Craig, why did you buy a Vive a few months ago? Yeah, this is miles better than the Vive, just from a basic usability, sound, visual quality, miles better. I don't... You're debated. What can I load up here? What's this Valve... Oh, we can go into a Valve lobby room. We need to actually try it on the sim rig with something. I want to try some actual... We've got Onwards. Got Pavlov, there we go. I haven't played this on this PC for a while. Oh, hang on, I need to... Where's my library? I haven't used Steam VR for ages. I've been using the Rift. Oh, that's cool. It's ordered everything in here, so you can see what's popular online and everything. Okay, maybe I need to re-download it. Oh no, I don't have it on here. Thought I did have it. That's weird. Oh, maybe I just have it on the... No, I've definitely got it on here. What's going on? Why does it not think I've got it? Because we've got 13 hours... Oh, there you go, it's not installed. It's like, what's going on there? I'm banned from iRacing. iRacing ban. Yeah, well, hopefully Pimax is sending us a Pimax soon, so I'll be able to check it out and give it a side-by-side comparison. No, I'm just using one tracking station at the moment. So when you see some of the hand tracking glitching, it's because it's the left hand is out of the view of the tracking station. I've just literally just shoved the tracking station on a shelf, and the tracking's actually been pretty decent. I got banned just a week. I got banned for a week because I was in a race. I've been trying all week to win a race, and I was in first place on the last race at like midnight. At Road Atlanta, and I was 7 seconds ahead, and I thought I would reverse across the finish line to celebrate, but I accidentally stopped the car before the finish line, and then I couldn't get it rolling again, and then someone protested me because they said I was trying to crash and I stopped on the racetrack. So that's how I got a 1 week iRacing holiday. You know, I can't complain. Technically they're right, you know. Oh, the new Space Warp stuff. What's that? So, you know, but I can still test iRacing anyway. No, I came second after like 40 hours of Road Atlanta in the Skippy. I wasn't showing off. I wanted to celebrate winning in style. I mean, maybe it was a bit showing off. Oh dear. It's just downloading Pavlov. It's nearly done. Man, I'm thirsty. Yeah, so far, with this headset, the biggest thing that stands out... And welcome everyone to the channel that's come to us, it's new. Don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. More despair. With no hair. Biggest thing that stands out, surprisingly, is the headphone quality and the general build quality comfort. Not on the coolness side, but in terms of general comfort, seems really nice with this headset. It's a little bit heavy though, and it's a little bit clammy, given how hot it is here. That might be why. I've not tried the high refresh rate yet. I mean, to be honest, it just feels like if you imagine like Gen 1 VR, but like very polished Gen 1 VR, so like with actual good image quality. So it's kind of like how you would want if you were going to experience VR for the very first time. This is kind of how you'd want it to be. maybe without the cable. if you could have this without the cable, that and like is a totally in its own device thing, this would be perfect Gen 1 VR. It's still not perfect. Yeah, VR Virgin will be like with this. I mean, I had the DK1, I had the DK2. I'd used virtuality back in the 90s. You know, I've gone through everything VR. I still think the most impressive thing that I experienced was with the DK, playing Live for Speed with the DK1, and also using the Razer Hydra controllers with the DK1, because I hadn't used hand tracking like that before. There's videos of that on the channel if you go back like 6 years. Valve have hinted at it, but there's nothing confirmed for a wireless adapter. Just cut the cable. I've got pretty good neck muscles. It's all that leaning when I play driving games. Pikachu on a 3D TV was life-changing. Well, I remember... Okay, life-changing gaming moments. Half-Life 1, absolute dream. GoldenEye on the N64. Super Mario on the N64. Mario Kart 64, I got to play that as a pre-release version on like a developer version, which was insane. That was like, what? What was that game on the Atari ST with the planes and the land? Is it Elite? Was it the demo for Elite with the music? It was like a demo with the planes landing on the Atari ST in 3D at like 12 FPS with cool chiptune music. That was pretty crazy. I specifically remember the Simpsons arcade game being really impressive. It looked like the cartoon. You know, like that was the 90s arcade game with like you could play as Marge with the Hoover. What else was there? You know, when getting the Voodoo 2, playing games with the Voodoo 2, and then upgrade. Then the GeForce 256. That jump was massively impressive. He's so old, you old man. Downloading still. Come on. It's going. It's getting there. It's a little bit slow. We'll do some sim racing in a bit. I'm going to have to move the tracking stuff around. Boneworks isn't out. I've seen the first stuff they put out, but I've just ignored it. I just want to play it without knowing anything about it. I need a steering wheel. I need a cold drink. I'm dying. Oh, I had a Game Gear. I should have got a Game Boy when I was a kid. I should have had a Game Boy. Game Gear's batteries is like you're spending like £1,000 on bloody batteries rather than the actual gaming. A Tasmanian Devil on the Game Gear. Road Rash on the Game Gear was really good. I had that McDonald's game on the Game Gear where you have to save the environment. What else did I have that was good? Oh, Sonic was really good on the Game Gear. Dungeon Master. What was the Populous game? Oh!
Looking forward to racing with Index after Banlol.
Thank you, USA Firearms. Oh yeah, USA Fire. Is that Antoine's brother? Thank you for that donation and the support. Appreciate that, man. What's the goat? I don't know. Hey, Tom. I don't know yet. We've not tried it. We're just waiting for Pavlov, and then I'm gonna. It's just downloading. Downloading bitter. The field of view's not that dissimilar to the Vive if you're using the Vive, the original Vive. If you're using a small phone rather than the original phone, that's the only thing I'm disappointed with. I mean, I'm not disappointed in the sense that it's bad, like the headset's bad. I'm disappointed in the sense that I in my mind, from the marketing, the whole canted lens and the whole everything was like, the field of view is going to be much bigger, and I wasn't expecting Pimax, but just much bigger than the Vive, and it's not. So I feel like that's dodgy marketing. Valve, get Half-Life 3 going. But it's not bad. It's nice. It's just like if you set up the Vive properly, it's like this field of view. But this has a better res than the Vive Pro, but not as good colours that I remember. It was like 2 or 3 months ago that I tried the Vive Pro. I could see the edges of the screen tie roll. I've adjusted them to they basically touch my eyes. That's how you set the Vive up though. Like I used to when I first got the Vive, one of the first things I did was I test all these like just doing stupid stuff out with different VR headsets because why not? Like, it's interesting. I would put it literally on my face without the foam on it, and I was like, oh, hang on, that's really good. And that's basically Valve have basically done what that effect, but just built into the headset without you having to swap anything over. I'm disappointed in your lack of disappointment. Fair enough. Let's all be disappointed. 2.7 gig, we're getting there. Yeah, you have to remember, Valve are not selling... I think they're selling this pretty close to cost. So, although, to be honest, it's the controllers that are bloody expensive. The headset's to buy on its own, the headset's like £400. The Lighthouse units are quite expensive. It's a real shame that they've not managed to find a way to bring the price of the Lighthouse units down. Because if the Lighthouse units were like £50 each or £30 each, so you're £60 for 2 Lighthouse units, and then the headsets, what is it? How much is the headset on its own? Like, was it £400, £500, or was it like £550? What was the headset on its own, guys? Because the headset's really great. I seem to remember it being like £450 if you just bought the headset. Someone check on the Steam store for me. Well, yeah, the Rift S, you get everything in the like the hand controllers and everything. Oh, $499. Okay, so yeah. If you've got a Vive, all you need is you've got Lighthouse. You can use that with the headset here. $1 million, Mr. Bond. Yeah, so the headset. I mean, for that price, this is like a Vive Pro quality headset. You know, well, better. It's better than the Vive Pro at effectively almost half the price. So, exactly. So, the controllers are too expensive. I mean, they might be expensive to make. Like, I don't think Valve are making a profit off it particularly, based off what they've said and based off the complaints they had with HTC with the original Vive, because HTC put an additional profit margin over it that Valve didn't want, supposedly. Allegedly. I would rather, personally, though these controllers have potential, I would rather have like Rift type controllers and say something more simple and have controllers that were like £100 cheaper. Do you know what I mean? Because it gets you in the game good enough. Hello, Bobby J. But you do know, like, Valve are pretty consistent. Like, if you bought the Lighthouse unit, moving into the future, when Valve make more HMDs, which I assume they will do, you'll have like an upgrade path there. And you've already seen now with so you've got the HTC Vive, the Vive Pro, the Pimax, and the Vive Index. That's 4 headsets that all use the Lighthouse tracking. So if you've got the Lighthouse tracking, it's like, well, then you'll be able to just get the other headsets that use that tracking method. So as a long-term solution, and the fact of the matter is, the Vive tracking, almost getting there. The Vive tracking is better than even the Oculus Rift CV1. It's miles better than inside-out tracking. Now, obviously, you have to put something in your room. There's an elegance to inside-out tracking. But if I'm playing Onwards or Pavlov or proper FPSs, why I want good track. Like, you can't have a mouse that sometimes doesn't work. And that's just the reality of inside-out tracking. It's most for single-player stuff, it's fine. Oh, there we go, download complete. For single-player stuff, inside-out tracking is fine, and in general, you can play multiplayer games. It's not terrible, but it's not 100% perfect. And I'd say the oh, it's just validated, it's installing. Fair enough. Lighthouse, I would say, is like 99.9% perfect, whereas the CV1 is like 95% perfect, and the Quest and the Rift S is like 90% perfect. You know, I'm just downloading Pavlov before I put stuff on the sim rig. No, it doesn't. It's not Paul Keeble. The Lighthouse, it's not. Oh well, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's not really cameras, is it? It's just diodes that detect the laser rotations. I wouldn't. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but yeah, technically, Paul Keeble being a technical bugger. Yeah, it's pretty cool how it works. So the Lighthouse units sweep the room with like washes of lasers, and then there's multiple diodes, and then they measure the time gap between the sweeps across like 3 diodes. But there's more than 3 diodes on it, but at a minimum 3 to 5 diodes, and then it works out the time difference to do the tracking. It's actually really, really, really elegant. It's absolutely amazing. It's just really cool. Yeah. We know Paul. Look at Paul being a little bugger. Oh, Paul Keeble. Oh, technically, a penis is a vagina. Oh, Paul Keeble. Oh dear. Paul Keeble, confused from birth. Yeah, no, he's awesome. There's some good videos explaining it. The future's got to be inside outright. I don't know, because I don't see. At the end of the day, you can't have. Like, you could have a camera behind you, but then that means you have to do stuff with the headset. I honestly don't see. I think, like, just from the general physics of stuff, people will always go for convenience. So in terms of mass market VR, Inside Out will be the mass market, just because it's cheaper and it's more simple from a consumer's perspective. But from a sort of high-end perspective of like raw fidelity, then I don't see how Outside In would be bested by Inside Out. You know, I think there'll be reasons to use both. I think what will happen is you will have most headsets eventually will all do inside out tracking. That'll just be like a default, and then optionally you'd be able to use outside in potentially. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm using like a bloody desktop PC here with 2 monitors that requires a desk and a keyboard and all this bollocks, and a graphics card and all this crap. It's not the most convenient thing, but I do that because I get the best. Oh, it's still validating. Come on. I do that because I get the best solution from it. You know, it's worth the effort to get that. If you're like a enthusiast, it's like with the sim rig. It's not convenient to have a bloody steering wheel, pedals, and a half room filling cockpit, but if you're an enthusiast for it, you put up with that. But your average player, the majority of the market, will rather play GT Sport with a gamepad, you know? How about if you put the outside in tracking inside? Well, then you would need like you'd need multiple Vives around the room, Paul. Yeah, we're looking at the menus. We're good at this. It's a good menu stream. Any games? Well, like whatever Valve's doing, Boneworks looks really interesting. Scapegoat. Do you want to validate a bit faster, Steam? Come on. Why is this going so slow? Just like driving sims and flight sims. I'm really interested to try the Pimax now. They did say they were going to send me one, so I hope they still do. You never know with companies. They're like, oh, we'll send you something, and then they don't. And then sometimes it just arrives, and you're like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So it'd be really interesting to try the wider field of view, because that is just to contrast it with something that's lower field of view but higher fidelity, or just maybe works better or is cheaper. I doubt it, Tom. Maybe live for speed. Installing Pavlov from floppy disks. Disk number 42. Oh, nice one, John Nath. Are you excited? Do you know what's really impressive? Vader Immortal on the Oculus Quest is actually really good. It's just like it's more like a little short story game. You get to use lightsabers and stuff, and you sort of walk around, but it's really good. It's surprisingly, it's a little bit janky, but it's surprisingly like when you see Darth Vader in it, it's actually really menacing, and the graphics look fantastic for the Oculus Quest. If you've got an Oculus Quest and you're thinking, oh, that looks like it's going to be a bit shit, I highly recommend picking it up. I think it's only like £7. I was really surprised. How good it was. But mind you, with my Oculus Quest, I just play... my Oculus Quest is the bloody Beat Saber box VR simulator. That's all I use it for. That headset could literally just come with Beat Saber, that's fine. I just did my sitting room, and I'm like, right, trying to get some exercise, Beat Saber. Is it possible to use HTC Vive controllers? Yes, it is, Luke. It is indeed. Is Pimax OLED? Yeah, I noticed that, Nolan. And I was saying earlier, Beat Saber's a really crap game for tracking fidelity testing, because you're doing mostly rotation. Well, I am, when you're doing faster songs, because you're doing like quick stuff to get the edge bits. You're not moving your hand around, so it's not really. You're just using IMUs for the tracking. But yeah, I definitely notice. One of the things I do with Beat Saber that I find really fun is doing an easier song on the training mode, but running it at like 125, 150 speed. And then you're like, it's not complicated from a sort of thinking thing or memory thing. It's more like you're just reacting to what's coming at you. And you really notice on the Quest, the tracking, table tennis as well, you really notice that the frame rate's not as good. We are loading. Come on. Oh, we're getting there, guys. Thank God I could talk rubbish for ages. I'm buying all members, but jeez, that'd be more than bankrupt. I could probably afford like three, three of them. What a contribution! We will try that, slow bloke. I have on the original Rift. Yeah, it's all right. It's a little bit boring. The physics aren't deep enough for my taste. I think I played it for like a few hours on the original Rift. I think I streamed it. It's not bad, it's just boring. There's not enough depth to it. Yeah, what I noticed, Nolan, is you know when you're playing Beat Saber on higher levels and you look like you've been attacked by an angry bee's nest. You're not, when you're playing Beat Saber on higher levels, you kind of just get into a flow, and you're kind of like you're registering what's coming towards you, and you're just doing actions to hit stuff, and you can't see that you did or didn't hit it. But I noticed on the Quest, it definitely feels like you miss stuff where you really sort of intuitively think you would have hit it. So one thing I've not tried though is, because when I was playing Beat Saber on the Rift S, I was crap at it. Like I hadn't played it for a while, but now I've been playing it a lot on the Quest. I'm a lot better at it. So it'd be interesting to do a side by side comparison with either the Valve or the Rift S. But the thing is, that's the thing with the Quest that's so good is you have you got a VR headset in whatever room you want, and you pop it on, it loads really quickly. That's why I really like it. Yeah, IL2 is really nice. Ah, we're ready. Merry Christmas. Probably we'll be playing this sat down. This is not the immersive way to play games. Mind you, I like playing games sat down. I'm not noticing any dead pixels, which is nice. Yeah, you know what? The image fidelity on this definitely seems quite a bit better than the Rift S. Like, it's not as like there's like a sort of liney appearance to the Rift S. We're loading here, guys. Give it a minute. I hope my PC's not crashed. We're just loading. Oh, it's loading. Take your time. So I'm gonna. Oh man, I've not played Pavlov for so long. Whoa! I mean, that does look super crisp. Can you guys see everything here? Sorry, I can't see the chat room. I should probably plug in the other lighthouse, but. How's this? Oh yeah, there's no grip button on this. Oh no, there is. It's like a. Oh, it's okay. You use pressure. Whoa! You just hold it with pressure. Is the grip button. Well, I'm not gonna be able to pick that up now because my tracking camera's in the wrong place. Well, press the buy menu. I'll mess this up. Oh, he's trying to use the. Yeah, I don't get the touchpad on this because they've now made the touchpad like indented, but it still works like the original touchpad. It doesn't make sense for like how developers use the touchpad. I mean, obviously it's got the D-pad on it, but then the D-pad's in the too far to the left, so that's a total fail. They should have just got rid of the touchpad. Developers have kind of moved past. Like, you know, using the D-pad is so much better. So that's a bit of a fail. Fail.com. Oh man, that looks super realistic. When stuff's like, so you'll know this with like the Vive, stuff has to be like right in your face for it to look crisp. But at this distance here, that looks super solid and crisp. That's crazy. Could do some AA on it. I need to set my tracking up better. I've not tried the pass through. See the where's the menu button on this? Where's the menu button on this controller? Does it have one? Oh, okay, that's B. No. What's this? News and announcements, okay. Oh, there we go. Play online. Oh, let's check settings out here. Yeah, I need the other lighthouse and I'm including it repeatedly. Well, let's go ultra, see what happens. I just want deathmatch. Oh, there we go. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's passworded. Oh, no. How do I get back? Okay. Deathmatch. Team deathmatch. Okay. Downloading map. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to put the other thing on. There's a little button for turning the controllers on and off, which you use with your hands. Yeah, the resolution's good. The controller layout for the buttons and this touchpad thing is just crap. I'm sorry. It's usable. It's fine, and I'm sure we'll get used to it over time. But the touchpad thing, it's like, come on, Valve. Buttons are better than touchpads. There's a reason why people prefer using mice on a desk than a laptop touchpad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, touchpads are shit. They're good on mobile phones, but it's because you haven't got any other bloody other option. Just having a rant there, guys. It's not that bad, but, you know, hello, guys in game. I'm just complaining. Hello. We're live streaming. Don't say shit or bugger. Right, it's loading the map. So, yeah, my only real complaint so far. My only real complaint is the location of the D-pad and the A and B buttons. It's not the end of the world. Also, the strength at which you have to grip it. So now I'm doing this. I need to turn snap rotation on. Now I'm doing this. It just fit. My thumb is having to be extended to use the move, which is like that's 90% of how you're using a controller in VR. Ah, Jesus, Valve. Let's change my control scheme here. Change my controls. Settings. This is not the way to be playing this. Rotate. Artificial turn. Okay. There we go. Let's use my pistol. I mean, the clarity is fantastic. Apparently I can't aim. I'm coming for you. I can reload. Come in. Come on. Hello. I haven't got any bullets. Oh no. Hang on. Okay. Just bear with me a second here, enemy. Here we go. Here you go. No. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Well, so yeah, you definitely notice as well. I have updated the hand controllers. You definitely notice as well that the lack of contrast. So in these darker rooms, it just looks a bit washed out, to be honest. It lacks that vibrancy, which I think it does impact immersion quite significantly. Oh dear, what's going on? Why does this keep stopping? Is it because of my tracking? Oh dear. Right. Yeah, we definitely need to be playing this stood up. I've not played this for ages. Try and actually get a kill. Oh dear, I'm getting slaughtered, guys. Oh, that pistol's got fully automatic mode. Oh, here we go. This is now we're talking. Why is this? Why like none of the bullets hitting anyone? My aim's not that bad. So also noticing, I do notice the edges of the screen when you're looking straight forwards here. You can see, especially when you're looking into the distance, you do notice the edges of the screen quite obviously. I feel like I just need to be able to turn the screen brightness up or something. What? Let's give him a surprise. Oh, it's a teammate. Ow. I'm so bad at this. Wow. What's he doing there? Ow! Right. I'm going to go to something else in a second. Woo! It doesn't stand up to the extreme hype it got, it sounds like. Yeah, I mean, it just... The comfort's great, but the bright... I definitely think it does really affect immersion, not having the brightness there. The contrast, not the brightness. It just looks a bit washed out, you know. Like the image quality is great. I think maybe part of it could be to do with if the developers for this headset made the environments brighter, it would probably offset it, because I noticed in that earlier, in that Valve demo, it wasn't as much of an issue. So maybe developers... Oh, I cannot aim. Maybe developers... I think if developers make the games brighter for this headset, or there's a brightness option, that might improve things. Obviously that's not going to fix the contrast, but yeah, because it definitely, I mean, this is like an afternoon level, so it's probably not the best test. Let's go back to the menu here, see if we've got more of a daytime. Yeah, so in this environment here, where it's a lot brighter, it still looks a bit washed out. I don't know what you guys can see on the screen. Yeah, so compared to my computer monitor, which is like really vibrant, and I mean, this is okay. So as long as it's when you're in a more contrasting situation, that's when it becomes more apparent, because, you know, obviously a room that's well lit isn't a high contrast situation. So I don't think this game is designed for... So yeah, the shaping of that they've added to the touchpad thing means that games that are designed around the original Vive controllers, it now makes these feel a bit awkward to access stuff. So why would they do that? What are you on, Valve? Like, you've designed these controllers, you can't... You might as well just use the D-pad. So just put the D-pad in the right place, because people are using rifts as well. So most people have some kind of rift things. I just don't get it. What? Maybe if they didn't shape it, it's now awkward to like actually. It's awkward to use anyway, because when you've got your hand like this, you can't easily. move your thumb around anyway. D-pad's just so much better. If it was in the bloody middle, oh bloody hell! Valve. Why don't you? Surely they would have got like a gamer in and gone, and the gamer would have immediately said what I'm saying here. They'd be like, well, yeah, but you know, someone that's got all the VR headsets, these are like pretty obvious things. I don't know. The grip thing's actually pretty cool. I'm calming down my complaining here, guys. I can't even put... Mind you, I can't even... I don't know how you... How do you clip it to your body in this? Can anyone hear that audio frequency? What's that? Yeah, I don't know how they can make the pad thing worse. Like, it's just stupid, isn't it? How do we do this? Okay. Oh, this is cool. Okay, go. Right. I've not played this for ages. Oh my Jesus. Yeah, we're not gonna be hitting them. Oh, hang on. This is awesome area to load into. I need to. I definitely have to set the other lighthouse because this is. I'm including it. As you can see, it's bugging out. This would be a really good test with the Rift, you know. Ah, this is really satisfying to shoot. We're out of the old bullets. Right. I definitely need to set up the other tracking. I need to put the lighthouses in the wrong place, basically. Oh man, the headset's really warm. This is baking on the left-hand side. This is like 30 degrees to the touch. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say... It's not... You don't really have much choice, really, to change from the Rift to the as an upgrade for the Rift CV1. It's like, I guess you could go for the Rift S, but then the tracking's a bit... supposedly today there's been a patch, but the tracking's a bit worse. Obviously with the index, like in general it's really good, but it's not like it's just like a nice progression over like this. The index is like the same improvement over the Rift S as the Rift S is over the consumer Rift, if that makes sense. So like if I was to order them, I'd be like consumer Rift S, apart from aspects of its hand tracking, and then this would be like the next thing up. So in each one being like 30% better than the previous one. So, I mean, the speakers on it are fantastic. The comfort's great. The field of view is just basically the same as the Vive. So, and it's really irritated me. Just because of I feel like it's false marketing. Because if you put these right to your eyes, it's exactly how I had the Rift, the Vive setup with the 6mm foam on it. If you move it away, it's kind of like the Vive out of the box, but obviously with much better quality lenses. But I don't get why they were marketing the wider field of view as like a thing, because it's not. It really isn't. It really isn't a thing at all. Like you don't put this on and think, oh, that's way more immersive because of a wider field of view. You just think, oh, that's a higher quality screen and it's more comfortable and the sound's better. And the sweet spot is the same as the Vive. Just once you're actually looking around, it's better. maybe already told, but how's the sweet? It's the same as the Vive, but it's easier to get into position, and once it's locked in, the eye box is a lot bigger. But the sweet spot's not an improvement. I don't know, why are all these reviewers, when they've tried these headsets out, how are they like not noticing all these things? Are they like deficient or something? So many people have tried the Valve Index, and they're like, oh, you know, all the stuff they say. It's like, why don't they say what I'm saying now? It's pretty damn apparent. It's not a bad headset. It's really great. There's really good stuff about it. But why would they not mention that the field of view, like in an obvious way, the field of view is basically the same as the Vive? Like, why? What is wrong with these people reviewing these devices? Not, I mean, I guess I'm too miserable. I mean, you're not going to get review. I can see why companies are kind of reluctant to send me stuff, but come on, it's like, again, I'm not saying it's bad. It's fine. It's a really good headset. I would not be, if I bought this, I'd be very delighted. I'd be overjoyed. Fantastic. But why would you not point out stuff to people that are interested in the points? Like, how could no one in any of the reviews that I've seen before not mention the placement of the buttons on the controller? Because that is so obvious. It's so obvious that that is stupid, relatively speaking, to all other game controllers on the market. It's not subjective. It's like that the D-pad is not in the most convenient place. The touchpad has a stupid bevel on it, which is not convenient for all games that are designed to use the original Valve touchpad. Like, why would no one mention that? The other aspects, that, like, okay, the fingers don't line up perfectly to the controller. It's not necessarily a problem. It does seem like a really nice controller. The way it holds in your hand is fantastic. The actual weight of it, the comfort of the controller for the actual grip, that's great. The tracking of it seems like it'll be fine. I'm just using the one lighthouse there, so I understand why it's bugging out there. That's my fault. The general ergonomics are a bit fine. I'm just saying the specific things that you would call attention to. Did no one at Valve go, oh, hang on a minute, that's a bloody stupid idea. Let's not do that. This is why I could never work in a company like Valve. That I'd be the outspoken bastard that everyone hates. I'd be like, oh God, it's that guy. Get him out of here. No job for you. You're not welcome in our little cabal. Well, yeah, okay, you say that, scapegoat, but if you're not using the sticks, how do you then, if you're not using the sticks and you're using the touchpad, the bevel here negates the aspect of using the touchpad to move, to go left and right and use it as a directional thing. So if anything, that bevel makes it worse than if it was just flat, if you weren't using the stick. It doesn't even make logical sense within the own construct of these controllers. You're going to have to use these sticks to move around. But it's... Yeah, you get used to it. I think you can get used to anything. And obviously with controllers, you know, all controllers... I say I used the Steam controller for a while. It has different button placement on it. Oh, let's see it dead. All controllers take a while to get used to, but fundamentally, it doesn't make logical sense within its own arrangement, is what I'm saying. I'm a huge Valve fanboy. I really like what they do. Can you click? You can click the stick in, yeah, but it's actually quite firm to click it down. Which again, if you're a big fan of like Onwards and some of these FPSs, you have to click down the controller to run. And so if you've already got the D-pad offset and you're then having to click it down, that's actually really quite stiff to do that. So it's not, you're going to have to bind another button to the run function, which means you're going to have to do it on the other controller because you need to be able to keep moving. You need to be able to run and move. So you have to keep your finger on this to move around. So the fact that it takes so much pressure to push that down, again, makes it you know, if you're using this as an actual movement joystick, it's not ideal. You're going to get finger fatigue. Like, do they not play any of these VR games that have been out for a while? Like, that's... Come on. No, I don't know. I mean, potentially they're the best in the market. But I don't know. I think the Rift controllers are, as a general all rounder, are probably, when you consider the price of them as well. I wouldn't say it's an overheating headset. It's just warm on the left hand side. Maybe it needs like a cooling fan in it. I don't think the hand controllers are crippling. I'm just being critical. I'm just like that, okay? I still think it's fantastic. I still think anyone that bought this would be very happy with it. I'm just being critical because I'm a bugger. You've got different types of pressure on it. I'm saying the physical click down on the analog stick. People are going to edit out this stuff in this and they'll be like, oh, he just said it was terrible. I'm not saying it's a terrible device. Anyone that bought this, I think, will be very happy with it. I'm just... the stuff that, from what I'd seen from other people's reviews, it's kind of weird to me that they haven't highlighted some of the stuff that seems pretty apparent. I'll do a summarised review. Well, the field of view on this, like the Vive, is bigger than the Rift S, and the actual image comfort is better than the Rift S. So there's like the distortion when you're turning around or looking around and stuff is reduced. Like, it's a much more comfortable headset. I won't wiggle that around, sorry guys. It's a much more comfortable headset than the Rift S. It's better image quality by quite an amount. It has the same LCD panel. The Rift S has kind of a washed out image to it as well, but it's just the reality of LCD panels. The contrast isn't that much. Alright, compared to the Vive, the clarity is like on another level. You can tell it's not that you see a screen door on modern headsets. It's not that you see a screen door. It's more like it's just an end clarity. You are still seeing the screen door, but it comes across as more just like the end clarity to the image. So, you know, if you were upgrading from a Vive, the original Vive, to this, you'd be like, oh, well, this is more comfortable and the image is a lot better. So, yeah, it's way better than the Vive, like miles better than the Vive, and I'd say on balance, it's like 10-15% better than what I remember of the Vive Pro. Especially when you consider that the headphones are incredible. Like the head speakers are amazing, are absolutely fantastic, and the comfort's amazing. I've not tried a HP Reverb, no. I need to get like a driving sim or something in a minute. Oh yeah, if you were upgrading from the original Rift to this, again, it'll be like absolutely blow you away. The thing is, the Vive is better than the Rift in many ways. Not for the original Vive is not as comfortable as the original Rift, and the controllers are not as good, and the image clarity wasn't as good, but it had a wider field of view. So, yeah, I mean, my computer's crashed again. Steam VR seems to be causing my computer to crash. Twice it's done that now. I wonder if that's just because it's overheating or something. Twice, guys. So there's also the problem that Steam VR seems to be causing my computer to crash. That might just be my system overheating because it is quite warm in here, and obviously VR is quite demanding. R.I.P. We're still going. I'll use a separate PC for streaming. The Rift, yeah, it depends what you're doing. For driving sims, the Rift S is quite a jump over the Rift, just for raw clarity. Yeah, I think it's probably my CPU overheating, because it's bloody sauna in here. Bloody sauna, bloody. Right. Okay, it's all. Let's check my CPU. No, I run like a small overclock on it. It's not normally a problem. Let's turn it down. Right, GPU's on 100% already. Right. Oh, come on. Oh, yours is crashing as well. Oh, so maybe it is Steam and not just my system. I'm on an i7, 4 gigahertz, 6700K with a 1080 Ti. I need a drink. I need to eat something as well. I'm dying. We need to test. I need to put the lighthouses up properly, do some proper testing. We need some cooling. Let's get this going. So what I'm thinking of doing is stopping the stream here and restarting in a bit. Might get some cool down, get something to drink, and then I can. I've got to position the lighthouse. Well, I'll plug the other lighthouse in, position that properly, and then I can do some sim rig testing, which would be good. So, well, I'll get that sorted out. But I need to cool down. I'm totally overheating. So I'll be back in a minute. You stupid nipple clamp. So thanks for everyone for watching this. I hope I've answered questions. As I say, just to finalise, I think it is a really nice VR headset. I think anyone that's bought it will be more than happy with it. It's very solidly made. There's nothing wrong with it, but Valve, I think, overstated the field of view stuff with the marketing, because it's just the. It's exactly the same as the Vive with a 6mm facial interchange. Maybe for different people, if you've got a different shape face, maybe you might have struggled with the Vive to get the lenses to your eyes. So maybe this allows more people to get that wider field of view. But inherently, it doesn't have a wider field of view than the Vive particularly. It doesn't seem like a tool, to be honest. And the screens, like the actual clarity is really good, but it does appear washed out from it being LCD in the same way that the Rift S is. So yeah, I mean, it's not, to be honest, the headset's not like totally blowing me away, but it's not bad. That's it's not like ah, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty. It's awesome, but it's not like. And then the controllers, the headphones blow me away though. Headphones absolutely blow me away. And the comfort is really nice. The comfort is actually really good. And the controllers, they're very comfortable on your hand, but the touchpad arrangement, or the hand tracking thing's nice as an option. I think the developers will take advantage of that. It'll be quite good. But the D-pad indent takes too much pressure relative to where your thumb is. The touchpad thing is in the it's dented. It's like concave, and so you can't use it like the original thing. And the D-pad and the buttons are sort of in the wrong place for where your fingers fall. So that's a complete failure. I think the controller, it feels like it's like a beta unit. It's they need to remake this, but with this touchpad thing should be at the side, and the D-pad should be in the middle. We'll be able to get used to it over time. It'll be fine. But what were they thinking? That's a fail. Valve fail. Valve time. Another 10 years, we get another Knuckles controller. Given how much they cost as well. But yeah, so that's a summary. Oh, the actual lenses, the sweet spot's the same. I'm just saying this at the end of the stream here so that people that watch the end can just, you know. The sweet spot's basically the same as the Vive, but the eye box is a lot bigger. So when you move your eyes around it, it mostly stays in focus towards the edges. But the general sweet spot is about the same as the Vive, though it's easier to get it into that sweet spot. And once you've got it there, you're pretty good. So yeah, right. I'm going to set up for another stream in a bit. Valve and fail in the same sentence. Yeah, let's get set up for another stream. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for taking part. I hope you found that useful. Yeah, my brain's not working. It's way too warm in here. See you in a bit, guys. Click the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Goodbye. I'll do some credits. Goodbye.